Hello?
Hey, sorry, I
Hey,
didn't
we
want
can
to
hear
put it.
you.
Hey, he's here. Yay.
Sarah, why are you
Yeah.
biting me?
Oh, what?
It tastes good, apparently.
I think what it is that my cat was laying here uncomfortably, and I went over and started squeezing on her foot a little bit, and she decided that it was time to play a little rough, and so she started nipping at my arm.
She's like, shh, don't touch me there. Don't touch my no-no square.
Yeah, she's straight. She loves belly rubs. She likes having the usually death spot on the back, right tail butt rubbed. She loves those things. She doesn't like it when her foot is rubbed. But sorry. Welcome to our group, Nick.
Hey, I have no idea what this is.
It's first level. We're just about to start for the first session tonight.
Alright.
It's eventually going to lead up to hopefully back into Out of the Abyss. But right now, it's going to be Sunless Citadel.
Cool.
One guy that we had pushed out, so Grizz I had to start over and
Yeah, well, I'd already been thinking about that I put the setting in wrong. That I decided that what this would work perfectly if it was set 1,000 years before. The current time setting in my world, it doesn't actually work in the time period I was trying to put it in, and the only reason I was doing that was so that you guys could keep your same characters from Skeleton Army. But then after all that, it said other people had already re-rolled their characters, which pretty much just you that your same character.
Well, I kept the same name, the same spirit, but he's straight druid now.
Yeah.
He's not part of a noble family.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
in,
yeah.
in the moose world, he is, but
Well,
nobody.
see, maybe he's the original of his line, and maybe he'll found his particular clan, who eventually named one of their children Fredrickson again, who then goes on to during a more modernish age runs a lab. So he could quite easily be the ancestor of that other character.
So what I hear is...
Nobody
Unless he
here
dies, of
understands
course.
moose politics.
So what I
Nobody
hear
here
is...
understands moose politics.
Sorry, what were you saying, Quentin?
So what I hear is we're gonna become kings.
Not necessarily. It's just that you might end up with somehow becoming nobles. Depends on where you end up. Right now, I said you're south of the Kolar Mountains, which means that you've never been past there because the only pass through that's known is controlled by the Drow, which are in fact the only elves that are actually known about in this region, at least in terms of still being alive. There are legends of elves, but elves have pretty much been extinct for nearly 1,000 years at this point in this region.
Good thing I picked Undercommon back up.
More possibility is that whatever race that they had, whatever scattered individuals were still alive 1,000 years ago, instead of joining together and repopulating their people, kind of vanished into humans or orcs.
Yeah.
Spreading their genetics that way, but vanishing as a species, as a people.
I actually did come up with a good backstory as to why he knows Undercommon, even though he was raised by a moon. Because I also chose the Outlander background. In it says that I could find a discovery or something. So I think I found a runes that has text that I read and learned how to read Undercommon.
Did anybody learn Abyssal this time?
Yes, I do. Because I learned from the mistake of not having Abyssal.
I mean,
I'm
I can't say shit because I have the most useful language. I always pick Primordial. You know,
you never know when that might come in handy.
Look, we haven't used it yet. Look, I would say in Princess of the Apocalypse, Primordial, good language.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some elemental shit going on, so maybe learning Primordial.
It has to be the only language I didn't choose for my character. So the character I did for the Prince of Apocalypse has 6 languages, and the only one I didn't choose because of it being elemental evil was Primordial. So someone's gonna have to pick that up.
My character pretty much just speaks Common and Draconic, at least at the beginning. She's a former minion of a paladin of Tiamat, so she has information about Tiamat, but she no longer shares in the religion. She kind of realizes that Tiamat's evil, that she's not evil like that, and Tiamat might destroy her entire tribe because they don't live the way that other kobolds live.
I mean, you're a fucking bard. You can learn any spell to learn any language. Don't worry.
Yeah.
My character is like most of my characters. He's a wanderer. He's and his tribe was wiped out, so he
probably
abandoned.
by orcs.
Yeah,
in this neck of the woods, it's orc tribes are a big problem.
Are we talking about Princess of the Apocalypse?
Oh no, we're talking about the game that we're trying to play right now. That we're just waiting for Nick to have a character concept so we can start.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were talking about your kobold for Apocalypse.
No, I didn't mean. Sorry. I was gonna say that there's a stats thing that you can roll up just in the macros section for your stats. It's the same one that Quentin here copied for his game.
What is everybody class-wise in this one? Just to make sure we don't have two wizards or stuff.
I'm a druid.
I'm a sorcerer.
I'm a barbarian. So mainly I think we need blood to heal first.
Yeah, they probably need a cleric again.
Or
bard! Or you can go for bard.
I mean, we have a druid, so technically speaking, we don't need a healer.
The main thing to look at is look at the character creation notes, because that tells you about the demographics in the area, what races there are, and the fact that both Minotaurs and Minotaurs, which aren't usually a player class anyway, but they are for me, and Elves especially, because that is a player class, aren't in the area. Elves pretty much died out in the Kolar region 1,000 years ago. The only one that's known is the Drow, and they are regarded as scary monster types, because they're the ones holding the pass to the north.
Does Nick need the macro for the...
It's in the macro section, yeah. So everyone should have access to that.
Oh, by the way, I changed Toothless on the road game to Cleric because else we don't have a healer in the party. Because I was
that's true. If the dwarf is gone too, then yeah, we definitely have that. That means there's also another opening in that game, but we have to see if that guy shows up tomorrow on Sunday or not. If he does, we'll find out what happened. And if he doesn't, then he's kicked from the game, and
Then the legend of Fan shall spread.
And then you're ready to take his place. So I'll work on that tomorrow. Tonight we're supposed to be focusing on this game.
Yeah, let's focus on this one.
Nick, are you able to make a character while listening to descriptions? Oh, by the way, it's reroll anything under an 8 or under. So I forgot to put that in the things.
Yeah, you guys talk. I'll do this as quickly as I can.
Okay, cool.
So
what we've already established, Cave and Quentin are kind of traveling together. They've come up from the southernmost part of Kolar, probably the only place in the region that has any type of moose. It's kind of a little warm for moose in this area at this time of year.
Yeah.
Since moose like cold climates, they don't exactly like a more temperate to temperate region in which you are now.
Yeah.
You're currently in the small town of Oakhurst. Now, Oakhurst is built on like many small towns in the region. Is actually built on the back of much older, towns and settlements. Sometimes they were abandoned and then reclaimed later. But you can definitely see that it was definitely part of the old settlements here, with the road stretching all the way to the northern pass. The history that you'd probably be aware of is that thousands of years ago, there was a empire from the continent far to the north that spread down through this continent all the way down here through Kolar, building roads, enslaving people, building temples. Basically, they were the equivalent of the Romans. They spread religion. They spread different types of culture, but they also destroyed and enslaved people. But they built roads. That's one of the big legacies of the Romans. So that the Romans built roads everywhere, and these people built roads everywhere too. So they built the road here, and had built up their some old ruins that are now still or repurposed structures that clearly show that they were built in that era. And there's even some structures that look like they were built prior to that era, and some of the older civilizations that the one civilization. Okay, the name is not on my current page. Where's my other info page? Hold on one second. I have everything set up on my OneNote thing, so I can easily flip around. But apparently, I did not do that properly for this one. All right, so. Oh, apparently I wasn't calling it Meeg originally. I was calling it Melum. Oh well. Meeg was just an old civilization. But I'm guessing Melum is now the empire that was there. So Melum was the ancient empire that cut through this region a couple thousand years ago. Just over 1,000 years ago, before Kolar was established. You would be aware that Melor kind of collapsed, that the pass was sealed off by the Drow. And, basically all ties to the ancient empire is gone. But there are evidences of ruins or repurposed buildings from even prior to the Melum expanse. Oakhurst being, a northern settlement in Kolar, just south of the mountains. Not up against the mountains, but you can basically see the mountains in the distance and know that it will only take a couple days to walk to them. Maybe with a really, really fast mount, you could probably get there if you started at dawn and got there at sundown. But basically, it's just a place you can, mountains you can see in the distance. And you know that the road goes there. So Oakhurst is where you guys all are at now. Quentin and Cave, how about you start us off with how you got, you enter into this small town. It has a fairly mixed population. Humans, lizard folk, as is with most towns around Kolar. You see the lizard folk wearing, banners showing that they're city guard and such. You see other lizard folk who are basically doing, manual labor sorts of stuff, like carrying heavy objects. Yeah. And humans, some of them are wearing finery, others are, carrying farm equipment around, or, stuff to sell at market. Typical things you see.
Well, I don't know about Quentin, Atreus. Fredrickson is having the time of his life. Like, he has never been in a town, ever. He's aware of civilization. He's just been in the woods by himself for the longest time. And he's just going around, looking at stuff, touching stuff, sniffing stuff. Basically being a general nuisance.
As he's looking around, I will pick him by the shoulder and I will drag him to the nearest tavern and I'll say to him, I'm gonna show you where everything's at.
His eyes are just huge, like a kid who grew up in a village, an isolated village in New York City. His eyes are huge. He's like, oh my god, there's this many people. I've never seen people before except for you, Atreus.
Yeah, let's get wasted.
Okay.
Goal number 1.
The tavern, as you know, as you find it, is called the Old Boar Inn. The barkeep and owner of this establishment is a human, and as you come in, he smiles broadly at you. Ah, what can I get you fine folks today?
Atreus, he looks just like you. What are you, human? What's a human?
The man kind of cocks an eyebrow and looks down at you. Oh, I take it you're brand new in town. Haven't seen too many big folk, have you?
I've seen moose. I grew up with moose.
What are moose?
Oh, they're huge animals. They're like deer, but like 3 times bigger. Huge antlers.
How do they taste? Do they taste anything like deer?
I am absolutely offended.
Good. They taste good.
Do not speak ill of moose.
I am hardly speaking ill of moose. They are bigger than deer. Then clearly they have more meat on them than deer. Maybe they are tasty.
Why would they eat my family? Why would they eat my family?
The guy looks astonished and looks over at Atreus to see if the gnome is kidding.
As he walks away, he's like, "That's it. You just." He pulls out a list and writes "barkeep at random place." And puts it back in his clothes.
Oh.
You should really stop writing people you hate in that small book without like any details. Like, are you gonna know who that is tomorrow?
That's cannibalism. Bad.
Moose
don't eat other moose.
You're not a moose. You're a little person.
I got that, but they're still my family.
I mean, sort of. Not really, but sure.
How would you feel if someone asked if you ate someone who raised?
I would probably bash their head in the second they asked that. But then again, I don't think I'm at the same level as you are. Like,
I wasn't raised by others of my kind, he says in air quote. I was raised by moose.
Meanwhile, what is Rick doing? Our father Fawn.
Hey, okay. So does the city have a library by any?
No, but there are books in. There's a couple of books in the old temple. They tend to keep together some old knowledge and everything like that. So they're the ones most likely to have books.
Well, that's the most likely place to find fun. That's for sure.
All right. So the old temple was built during the age of the Melum expansion. It has a huge statue of the goddess Woos, who is native to this world. Because it's during the Melum expansion, her appearance is that of mixing the best features of both lizard folk and human. So you got what looks to be like a very stylized lizard folk with a more humanoid female's body type, if you know what I mean. Including breasts, but with a face more like a lizard folk, but meant to look appealing even to humans. With hair and forearms, stretched out wide to show, greetings, welcome, warmth, love. But primarily, because at the time of the Melon expansion, she was being worshipped as more than just the goddess of water. She was being worshipped as like a healer, a creation goddess, a goddess of life, a protector, all sorts of things. But now she's simply, to everybody around here, simply the goddess of water. And another statue has been placed more in the central location, although her statue is still there in the center, but basically before her is now a statue of Palor, who's become more of a figure that people want to worship. There are also a few smaller statues nearby, like there's one of Quer, another local goddess to this world, the goddess of death. Basically people would give offerings at funeral rites to see that the souls of a loved one are taken to her domain so that they can be safe rather than being hunted by random things in the in some of the inner planes.
Okay.
But these are things that you would know as a scholar. And there's various books. Some as ancient as far back as the Melum expansion, talking about faraway locations such as the continent of Meeg and the rest of Eberus. you basically got like, some good knowledge of history here. So give yourself a +1 to any history check you take.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So you're basically reading some books. It's getting towards kind of a late lunch, early dinner situation for you, and your stomach is currently growling.
Well, I guess I take it the tavern's the best place for food.
Yep. If you've been in town for a while, then you would imagine that you'd establish yourself. If you don't want to cook for yourself, tavern is best place for food.
Well, time to get something to eat, and then I need to reread every book again. Well, probably the 100th time by now.
So, as you're walking in, Atreus and Fredrickson, how about you describe your characters? And then, Fan, you can describe yours.
Go ahead first.
For me, Trace is a big ass, muscled looking man with Celtic tattoos over his arm and onto his torso, with a big axe on his back and a bow, and the head of a wolf hanging next to his head, looking mean as fuck with a beard. That's all there is.
Fredrickson, he's at usual height for 3 feet tall. Ragged brown robe. It's got some algae on it or moss growing on it from the wilderness. He's got twigs and bugs and shit in his beard. His hair is just unkempt, like rolling around in dirt and whatnot. He's got a hat with antlers on it that he picked up from a deer that shed them, and he smells horrendous. Like he hasn't bathed in like ever. Like just the idea of taking a bath, because he doesn't know exactly what a bath is. He knows that he can jump in the water whenever he feels like it. He hasn't felt like it for a very long. Everything just catches his eye, and he's like, "Ooh, what's that?" And he's been doing that for about 50 years, give or take.
Jesus.
So yeah, canonically he hasn't bathed in about 50 years.
Ouch. So, Fawn, how about you describe yourself this time, since you're not playing your normal version of Fawn?
Well, Fawn's a regular size for a dwarf, you would expect. He's wearing a nice blue robe, but it's only the very top half of the robe, and everything else he wears is very, I guess you would say, fancy. Be the right term. He likes to be well dressed, and he's always carrying around a book with him. Just a random book.
Yeah, so you guys see this guy entering in soon after, you guys have found a table. The bartender's a little shooken up after Fredrickson's tirade, but he hasn't kicked him out. And as he sees Fawn enter in, he goes, "Hey, hello, Fawn. How's your day going?"
It's going normal.
Fawn, you're aware that this guy's name is Garon.
It's going great, Garon. Just starting to reread this book. Put whatever book he currently has in his hand. Show it. How's yours, my friend?
Well, he kind of eyes the gnome in the corner a bit. It's mostly good. Your usual?
Yes, the usual. Thanks.
So, have you decided what you're going to do yet with all your knowledge? He asks, fixing Fawn's usual meal.
That's no, not yet. Just can't think of anything worthwhile to
Well,
use my knowledge for.
well, you've heard the legend so far of the Sunless Citadel, haven't you?
Of
The
course,
fact,
I have.
yes. So, you thought about maybe going there?
By myself?
Well, maybe not. He says, looking you over.
If I could probably find at least one other person, I might go out and go to the Sunless Citadel, but
Well, there are a couple of new travelers in town. Perhaps you should consider asking them.
it's probably a lot. Well, Fan decides to get closer to the newcomers. Hello. Greetings.
What's up?
Can I ask a question?
What's the
Are you
question?
are you really a dwarf? Because you really don't look like one. Like you look like one, but you don't act like one.
What's a dwarf?
Like it's this really tiny, angry, strong folk who beat it up. But
Not
you
all
just
of
look
us
like
are like that. Thank you.
the cool ones are. You're just like nerdy and shit.
He's not tiny. He's bigger than
Wow,
I am.
that's rude. And here I was going to possibly offer you a job.
Job,
What's a
money.
job?
I'm not sure you deserve this job now.
I can beat up anything you pay me to.
That's what I like to hear.
Fredrickson at this point gets off of the chair and starts sniffing the dwarf.
Please, stop sniffing me.
Don't mind him. He isn't potty trained yet.
Hey, I can go in the woods.
Yeah, in the woods.
So,
He smells funny.
about this job I have to offer you. Have you guys ever heard of the Sunless Citadel?
What's a job?
It's when we get shit for doing shit.
Oh, sweet. I'm sold. I like getting shit.
Yes.
Not like this.
I found some shit
Like
left by a deer before. Found
no,
some
no,
shit
no, 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 no. The like
Oh God!
stuff shit where you can do shit with, not like the ones that come out of your like end.
Oh,
Mm,
you made treasures.
yeah,
Oh, okay. What kind of treasure?
I don't know.
Gold
Oh,
is what I'm willing to offer you for your assistance.
gold.
I can buy ale with
And
that.
possibly any treasures we come across.
Deal. Let's go.
I'm always into seeing you, so why not?
At this point, the bartender comes over with Fawn's usual order and hands it to him. Here you are.
Thank you, dear friend. Well, looks like I'll be heading to the Sunless Citadel soon.
Better get your rations and climbing gear in order.
I think
It's
we'll be fine on rations.
rumored. I imagine that you could find some points to the location of it in those books you're always reading. He claps Fawn on the shoulder, and heads back to the bar area.
I just kind of stare at the guy, like with my eyes squinted, like he's on my list.
So, Nick, do you have anything about your character yet, or are you still working?
Yeah. I got more or less the basic stats and everything. So yeah, that's okay. I'll probably make it nice and pretty after this session.
All right.
If you want.
Do you wish to introduce your character into the inn at this point, or?
However you see fit.
Well, if I said if you're ready to at least play them a little bit while you're still working on the sheet in order to hit stuff with them, you can go right ahead.
Sure, I'll enter the end. Okay. Should I describe my character more or less?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in the end enters a more or less medium-sized male lizard folk who has very, very simple clothing. Pretty much a skirt made out of an animal hide and just a simple cloth vest up top. He carries very little possessions, a very simple backpack, and the only weapons anybody can see on him, because he's pretty much buck naked, is a spear. And he looks around very, very calmly around the inn.
Chris points towards him and says, "He looks like a warrior," saying that to the dwarf.
What race is he? I didn't catch that.
Like, that big lizard looks
Oh,
like...
he's a lizard folk.
I think so. He looks like he can beat up, like, the dwarf dude. Like, maybe we should get him along too.
He looks like a big version of those little things that I see in the woods that scare people.
Yeah, he can beat up shit too.
Yeah, I wonder if he's looking for a job.
I walk at the bar and ask for a beer.
What's a beer?
The bartender nods and starts pouring out one from the tap. Hello. What brings you to town today?
I've been just wandering the woods for a little, looking for some good work. Money's
Well,
running low.
He points over towards the dwarf. I know that he's currently hiring for a job. You might want to ask him. He
Okay.
hands out over the beer.
Right. I take it and walk over to the dwarf. Hey, I hear the barkeep tells me you're looking for some people.
Yes, I'm thinking about going to the Suness Citadel. You heard of it?
Not particularly. What is it?
Well, it's
Citadel. Says Frederickson. And then I look at you and ask, what's a citadel?
I don't know. It sounds fancy. I don't like it.
It does sound fancy. What's fancy?
It's like when people who are stupid and don't live in the forest, that's how they are.
Me like that guy that pours dwarf.
Yeah, like that guy.
I understand.
I start drinking my beer while I'm waiting for an explanation.
Well, it was thought to be a retreat for an ancient dragon cult.
Oh, I've heard of a dragon. What's a cult?
I want to fight dragon.
I give out a long, drawn-out sigh, like, these guys. I finish my beer and say, fine, I'm in.
Alright. What's your name, friend?
Ormus.
Ormus. Actually, I didn't even catch you guys' name.
Well, where I come from, I'm called. But I just picked up the name Frederickson.
Call him Freddy.
Freddy,
Freddy,
good
wait.
to meet you.
I'm Artreus. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I give you the firmest handshake you have ever had. or try.
I look at that handshake very curiously and give him a very shallow bow. Use that.
Mm.
I go up and I sniff his ass.
Ugh.
Book person. Do you have you read anything to like fix him like a little bit, like tiny bit? Like, he's weird. I like him, but he's like a bit too weird. Like, or
You do knowledge of nature if you like.
Do I feel someone's licking my butt, by the way?
Roll a perception check. And fun, as you study the issue of Fredrickson, it occurs to you that bringing him over to the temple and asking the priestess of Palor to take a look at it might be a good idea. And Nick, yes, you notice that the little gnome is sniffing you in an inappropriate spot.
I slap him with my tail.
Altruist, I think we can get your friend a bit more sane.
What's saying?
I don't want him more sane. I just want him less crazy.
Yes, that's technically more sane.
I go back to eating.
All right. I'll drink 2 more. I'll drink as much as I can before we leave.
Roll a constitution check for me.
I finish my pint of beer and return it to the barkeep. How much is a pint of beer?
He just says three coppers.
Okay.
The copper.
It's coin made of stone-like thing.
I pull out a rock. This.
Oh, like shiny rock.
I pull out a pouch that has. You like the?
Yeah. It has to be like stamped with like the face of like a douchebag to be worth anything. So like
These ones
they
don't have
don't-
faces. They're just shit.
yeah, they don't count. I don't know why. Sounds weird.
Okay. Get back in my.
Well,
As I put
I'll
my
use
hand out, there's like a praying mantis on my hand. I start purple.
How do you mean after me? I don't know where we're going.
after use a finish. We
Oh,
start to get going.
I'll. All right. So after I spend 5 gold on drinks, we can leave.
At this point, Frederickson pulls out a pipe.
Alright.
I learned this from one of the people that I was trying.
Cave, you're breaking up.
Oh, I pulled out a pipe.
Alright.
Started smoking out of it. Like I learned this from one of the people I ran into while I was traveling. They say it helps calm. I don't know. It feels nice.
You should never be calm. Calm
I don't know
isn't the
what
way
calm
of a
is.
warrior.
I have a stick and I pull out my quarterstaff. It's just a branch.
I put my spear next to it and try to measure which is bigger.
The spear is definitely bigger.
I give him a smirk like, that's cute.
It is, isn't it? I found it one day while I was traveling. I thought it'd be cool, so I kept it with me. And then these nasty wolves came out of nowhere. Like, oh, we're gonna eat you. I'm like, maybe I could use this to tell them no. And then I hit one with it, and it ran away. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna name you George.
And I killed like the other one, and here's its head.
You should call the stick Boom.
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 Boomstick.
Oh no, this will end good.
You guys all set to?
Whenever
If
you
this
are.
Bridgerton,
Whenever you are.
if this Bridgerton lives long enough, he will discover gunpowder.
Let's hope he doesn't. Let's hope he doesn't.
I impatiently start tapping the butt of my spear against the floor.
Yeah.
The bartender looks over at you. Is there anything else you require?
Not from you.
I wasn't asking you. He kind of narrows his eyes at Ferguson, and then continues to
eyes are
look
right
over at
there.
Ormus.
Now I'm fine. Go easy on him though.
Well, he got mad at me for talking about food. So, what am I supposed to
really?
think?
Talking about eating moose.
Oh, moose
You
is
don't eat
delicious.
moose.
He said they were giant deer. Deer are delicious. They're a great food source. What are these
Put
moose
check mark
things
next
you're
to-
speaking of?
I pull out my list, put check mark next to his name. Look back at my robe. Who else mentioned about eating moose?
I think it was
Alright.
fun.
Was it fun?
Fun.
Yep. He's
Alright,
on the list now.
look, big guy. We should really start going.
Okay.
Your list is getting too long.
Yes,
It is a
let's.
really long list.
I whispered to a barkeep, "You're gonna have to leave these guys before I leave with them."
Bertie kind of nods a little. It's still daylight as you make your way out from the tavern, but the sun is slowly setting. You can see one of the two moons that surround this world coming up. The red one.
Okay, well, first
Ferguson
stop.
starts howling.
God. First stop is the temple.
What's a temple?
So this way, guys.
It's where puny gods try to convince stupid humans they are important.
Oh, I know a guy. His name is Pamola. He has the head of a moose and the wings of an eagle.
Hmm.
He watches over our forest.
Do you know someone who isn't related to a moose in any way?
I point at Atreus.
Well done. Very well done.
As far as I know, you guys aren't related. Are you? I look at the dwarf. There my. Are you?
No.
Good. Because they found out that you eat moose. Terrible.
That would be cannibalism. That's not good.
Exactly.
Well, good thing I'm not related to him anyway.
Yeah, he'd be a disgrace.
So,
So,
as you enter the temple, you see that the priestess, a female gnome named Dem, is kneeling before the statue of Palor.
I walk up to her on all four hands and start sniffing her.
She
God.
kind
She
of
looks just like
opens her eyes wide and stares at you. It's like and pulls on her robes a bit as she gets quickly to her feet. What are you doing, sir?
I'm sorry about this guy.
Don't mind him. He grew up like in the forest, like alone.
Yeah, and we're trying to.
I
He's
didn't grow up
not
alone.
there.
I was raised by a moose.
Yeah.
We're act-
There's father moose and mother moose and all my sisters and brothers. Then
Mhm.
there's the uncles and aunts and grandparents. They don't die. They don't live for very.
Hey, Cave, have you ever seen the movie Frozen?
No. I avoided that movie.
Because right now your character is really very much reminding me of the main male guy who was raised by rock trolls,
Oh,
and he has a pet. He has a reindeer companion.
Mhm.
Yes.
That was an accident. I had an
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking it, but now it's locked in there.
Yeah, he didn't go around skinning people, but he had all sorts of weird mannerisms for being raised by rock trolls.
Yeah, but they're technically sentient and can speak words.
Yeah, but he treats his reindeer as a person too. So
Well, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I haven't seen Frozen.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to divulge from that. It's just that you, with all the talking of your brothers and sisters, it's
Yeah, I was
just
kidding,
reminded me of Frozen.
I was
I've
actually
never
reminded
seen
of the
I've never
mooses.
seen another creature that looks like I do.
The moose of what? I'm sorry, Nick. What'd you say? All right. Back to the story then. She kind of like stares at him and going, "You've never seen another gnome?"
What's a gnome?
She lets out a dramatic sigh and then pinches at her brow a bit and says, "Paylor, give me strength."
I don't know who this Palor is, but I know Pomola.
She kind of
He has the
glances
head
at the statue of
Witch.
Paylor and then looks back at him. And then she looks at the other three that came in with him and says, "Where exactly did you find this man?"
Forest.
A tavern.
He's okay if you like get to know him.
I
Like,
see.
except for like its weirdness, but like it's okay.
That,
Do you wish
that
me
brings
to? Do you wish me to
That
find him a room and help figure out a way of easing his troubled mind?
very much, please. I don't
My
think I
mind's
could.
not troubled.
I just think that's how he is. I don't think it's like troubled. I think just that's how he is, which is worrisome. But yeah,
Sure.
At this point, Fredrickson's touching everything, sniffing everything.
If only I had some more of that magical apple elixir. Too bad it'll be another year before we can make some more.
do you really want them in here for longer?
No, but I suppose if you were to find one of these apples, perhaps go to talk to the goblins who have them, and bring one back, I can make the elixir.
What's so special about apples? They're just like
She kind of
sweet.
looks over. She looks over at him. Fawn, you've probably been in town long enough to know that there is a goblin tribe that lives somewhere nearby. In that same ravine that you were aware that from your book reading that the Sunless Citadel exists in. This goblin tribe that's been coming to town for the last 12 years to sell an apple with magical properties.
Apples are tasty.
They are extremely
there's
expensive,
goblin.
but apparently they are worth buying because they can fix any. They can pretty much fix any ailment, and if this is truly an ailment, it'll be able to fix that.
If it's
Spoiler
not,
alert,
it'll be a
it's
waste
not.
of money.
Yes, each piece of fruit costs 50 gold.
50 gold.
Great.
Right.
I'm gonna get me some apples.
Can you afford one?
I don't need to afford one. I need to kill the person who has them. And then I owe. I mean, if it's a bad person, like I'm not just gonna murder anyone. Just like
Better.
evil things have it, so like they shouldn't. So I
Well,
should.
I've
Right.
met goblins before. Goblins are cool.
we
They know how
should
to party, let me tell you.
we should start heading towards the goblin then.
Oh no.
I apologize for this guy's attitude and everything he's doing. I say this to the priest.
Yeah, she's like watching Fredrickson carefully just to make sure he doesn't circle around her again. And she kind of wants to stop him anytime he picks up a small statue. You know, just say, "Put that down! Stop! No, don't touch the candles! No! No, not the tapestry! No, leave the tapestry alone!"
Ooh, what will happen if I put this fire near the thing? Pointing at the
No.
She shrieks and runs for him.
How big is Fredrickson? How big is Freddy?
3
He's a
feet
gnome. I think you can pick him up if you wanted to.
Okay, I'm gonna hold him down so we don't get into too much trouble here.
No, no, so many things I haven't seen, so many things I haven't licked.
Frederickson, calm down. You're
But the
Freddy,
state.
Freddy, please stay. Oh, no, Freddy. Down, Freddy. Down, Freddy.
Freddy, you know how you don't like people eating moose, right?
Uh-huh.
She doesn't like people touching stuff.
Oh. Okay. I just stopped. And then I fall asleep.
Nice, Freddy.
Nice job.
And he snores very loudly.
She kind of
Like,
looks
obnoxious.
over at the rest of you and says, "Perhaps you should get him a room at the inn."
I was thinking more like the stables area.
Mm. You might
Oh,
scare the various horses in there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be my life with these guys, isn't it?
At this point, he wakes up. It's like, that was a good nap. Where am I?
Too late, you already hired us. There's no backsies. No
Oh
backsies.
well, I haven't paid you yet, so there is.
I said no backsies.
Alright, well, let's hope that your friend here is the reason why he's acting like this is an ailment, because I don't think I can handle this for much longer. So let's go to the please no. Let's go to the goblin camp, shall we?
Let me repeat. The goblins that you've been told the goblins are the same ravine that you know the ruins to be in, according to your book
Yes.
research. So basically, going there would be the same thing as going to the Sunless Citadel itself.
Sure, just go. We'll
Which
find
gets
out.
my job under the way.
Yeah. So at this point, as GM, even though I don't actually have any reason to be telling you this, but it's a good idea to visit the general store to stock up on anything you might need before you leave, because you don't really want to come unprepared to the location.
I have an explorer's pack.
Yeah, I'll explore back.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, good. Good.
Um,
As long as you remember
wait,
to bring to carry all that stuff, you should have what you need.
I'm gonna go grab a climber's gear. Just in case. I need to climb stuff.
All right. As you enter into the general store to pick up the climber's gear, you see that the owner, a distinct-looking, kind of middle-aged human female with noble bearing, looks kind of sad. She kind of perks up a little bit as she makes the sale, but basically says, "Where are you heading out?"
Like a citadel with like no
When you
sound
say
or
that,
something?
her eyes actually light up. "Really? You're going to the Sunless Citadel?"
Yes,
She-
we are.
She takes a deep inhale of breath. "My children, they went with a group of adventurers a month ago and still haven't returned. Please," she comes around her counter and forgets to take any money for the climbing gear. As she grasps your hands firmly. I would like to have any information you might be able to find on my children. Their names are
Absolutely.
Talgan and Sharwin.
Could you check
Talgan's
it
a
out?
fighter and Sharwin's a wizard. They would have a little ring like this. She kind of shows you a signet ring. If you can find them, or at least their signet rings.
Could you like tell us how they like look? Cause like
Frederickson.
She holds up the signet ring once more. They would be wearing this, and they look a bit like me.
yeah, but if they that probably no ring. So like
If the rings are anywhere but on them, then they're already dead. Just
yeah, but
bring
like,
back the
wouldn't you, like,
rings, she says,
Jeez, lady, that's
tears
dark.
brimming in her eyes.
wouldn't you like want to like bury them or something like people do in towns? Like, rings kind of like. Ugh. Sure, yeah. Alright. Let's to carry. Fine by me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lady looks like she needs help, so I want to help her.
I'll give you 125 gold per ring. She says as you guys turn to leave.
Oh well,
Oh.
Deal.
that's definitely good motivation for these people.
She saved it for last just because she was trying to appeal to your selfless side.
Oh, she already appealed to Frederickson. He was already on board.
Yeah.
I was there too.
I'll take it. No problem. You guys do it for the feel goods. No problem.
Ha! I'm paying for. I'm going to be paying you guys, so all money goes to me, and I share the money to use at the end of the job.
What did you say?
All right. Sounds good.
I start tugging on the dwarf's robes. Hey guy. Yo,
What?
when are we leaving?
Now?
Cool. Let's roll.
I feel that Frederick here is going to get drop kicked into something at some point.
Nah, he's gonna be chucked at some point.
Yeah. See, it's a good thing this version of Frederick is not playing in a game with turtle butter because she would have smacked him upside the head by now.
Great.
Or try to eat it.
Now I can't push him off a cliff.
She's already upset with Frederick, or not Frederickson, with Kate.
Whoa.
Mm.
Oh, Cage as well. Yeah, that didn't surprise me.
I mean, seeing you're a druid, she would probably try to eat you at some point.
No, that was only because you were wild shaped into a mouse and she was at the backseat gourmand.
I mean, I think she's playing. She's also playing Dragonborn, who also
Yep.
eats everything.
Yeah.
Like,
She eats
I
and
wouldn't
licks
fu-
everything.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
put it past her. All right, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Obviously with me as leader because I'm the only one here that knows the direction. Because I'm bookworm.
Feel the burn, man. Feel how it feels to be your
So, I just need... Ah, good. There's a picture for Ormus. Good. Yay. It's out right in time. Ooh, that's a good one, too. Take a second and set up Ormus's token.
At least old Hovey didn't have to pay the people around him to do work.
Look, you haven't paid us yet. You're probably gonna just use the money you get. Anyway.
I'm going to pay you.
Lizard folk have dark vision?
I don't.
No.
I'm.
At least
See you.
not in the guy.
Okay.
Oh yeah, lizard men don't get dark vision. That's true. They
Okay.
get cool shit.
Out of all the things that they have, the thing they don't have dark vision, to be honest.
Yeah. So, there you go. There's the four of you.
Actually, before we do leave town, I'm going to give everybody 2 gold pieces as an advance
Ooh.
on the reward.
Ooh, shiny. I put it in my bag of
How much?
2.
2. Super. Yay,
How
I'm
much?
at 7.
I have 12.
So, anywhere else you should try to stop before you head out?
I don't think there's anything else.
Alright.
I mean, maybe we're stupid, but fuck it.
Hey, it's all cool. It's all cool. So, you head out of Oakhurst. Head out along the road just as the sun finishes setting. After about an hour's walk, both moons are high in the sky. The red one and the blue-green one. Grizz and Tethel, I believe the names are. I don't know what information it is. Yeah, 2 moons. Grizzled, red, close, small. Tethel, blue-green, far, large. This is for you, Nick. This is for my personal setting. I realized that I forgot the deities list in my other handouts because the other 3 people who were playing already knew them. So I do apologize for that. Just a quick overview. There are 4 individual deities that are known only to this world. One's called the Divine Light. which it could be any god at all in any of the pantheons, including this one. Nobody actually knows the true identity of the Divine Light. They just know them as the protector of Alaris. Woos, the goddess of water, linked with is lawful good, linked with life. There's Am, the chaotic evil goddess of nightmares, whose domain is the abyss, and Quer, the lawful neutral goddess of death, who protects souls and helps guide them to wherever they're supposed to go next.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, the big statue of Roos in the old temple there, because she was the center of the old Malem religion, looks like a combination of lizard folk and human, like a stylized lizard folk woman with certain human female anatomy, such as breasts and hair, longish hair, and some of the slender features more associated with being female, even though it's not necessarily the case for lizard folk. So it's kind of like taking the best qualities of both human and lizard folk and mixing them into one being to represent. Those are the older statues of Woos. It's not some of the more current ones that some people are making, but like the old temples still have them. Anyway, it's nighttime. Both the moons are up as you're far away from town now. It's like off somewhere in the distance, somewhere behind the trees, and you begin getting this feeling that you're being watched or observed by something. Roll perception checks, guys. Oh, and put yourself in some sort of marching order. I would like to know who's in front.
Well,
I'll
sadly,
take the
I
leader.
have. Sadly, I
behind
have to be in front because I'm sort of the leader of this.
I'll be close because technically you're paying me to protect you, so like.
I'll be behind Atreus.
Okay, so
have
I'll be in the back. I'll be the rear guard.
All right.
Don has never been in the wilderness before. He
Alright.
knows.
So, Fredrickson, and Atreus, as you look around, you see something moving in the brush nearby.
Like, hey, and I poke at Van with my quarterstaff. Hey, there's something on the bushes.
Yeah.
And then I yell at, hey, you! Get out of the bushes! I know you're there.
And suddenly these things appear on both sides of you.
Atreus just gives the biggest baseball you ever heard. Like, it rings through the forest.
They look like some kind of twisted little leafless sprouts of some kind, but they're moving and they appear to have little eyes.
Time to chop some wood. Apparently, it's not time. It's probably pretty late.
Hear them whisper, I am great. Just kidding. But seriously, they do remind me of Baby Grits.
Yeah.
Damn.
Apparently, it's actually Groot's son. And not Groot anymore.
Well,
Which is
yeah.
interesting.
Well, because the original Groot died, and they're all called Groot. And then the new one was spawned off the corpse. Fun. You get the first tune.
So how wide is the road? Like, I can fall back to.
Yeah, the trees are scattered, well enough that it's easy to just duck around them. You don't have to worry about where they are in the area.
Good, because I'm gonna go all the way back down here. And firebolt red.
Red instantly burns up, kind of leaving only a little pile of ash.
Oh, really good.
Right. twig blade runs right for Ormus.
Hey.
Breaks at it. It's claws. Missing! Fredrickson!
Sorry, Miss.
Oh wait, you forgot to roll initiative, or you didn't click your token, Nick. Because you're not.
Oh yeah. I forgot to select my token.
Yeah. I just noticed because like it's 4422 and then didn't see
Yeah.
you.
Okay, she knows that too.
Okay.
It's not very different. The other one was a 12.
It's the same.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's Ormus' turn. Sorry.
Okay, so I got one beside me. I'm gonna poke it with my sharp stick. Two-handed.
You basically immediately shatter it into a bunch of little twigs.
Yeah. All right.
Atreus!
He's gonna roll his shoulders, walk right up to Green, and try to split them right in half.
Another one bites the dust.
I'll walk right over to Blue as well. Just
Fredrickson!
I'm gonna run up the. Well, actually, first things first is pull out my quarterstaff and what looks like the top part of a tree trunk. I slam my quarterstaff on the ground and it starts glowing green. I run up to it and I smack it with my.
Lily!
I think if I did it right. Whoops.
seems
Terrible.
about right.
In this case, the little twig blight manages to avoid you. Kind of dances around your attacks, and then strikes back at you with claws.
I block.
Also miss. Fun!
We go all the way over here. And fireball to death. And miss.
Yep. Goes right, sailing right past it. Ormus!
Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can shoulder run off Atreus to kick the blight in the face. If the DM will let me.
Sure. I no.
You can easily move there. Do you have any problems moving your token?
What?
Are you having difficulties moving your token?
No. There we go.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no problem. This will be unarmed though.
Alright. And that's a miss.
Jesus Christ.
Atreus.
I'll try to do the same as you did the last one, hopefully.
And that's a hit.
Finally.
And also shatters it.
Man, this one was doozy, man. He could dodge and weave like I haven't seen. He's pretty nimble for a piece of wood.
So you gain some XP.
Yay.
Some XP, yay.
Oh.
Well, I guess we should continue on our way.
That was handled great.
Go along your merry way.
Yeah, you guys are capable.
Yep.
Yeah, no problem.
Anyone hurt?
Nope.
No.
We're all fine.
Excellent.
How many of us have dark vision?
I do.
I think 2 do and 2 don't. But I'll get it in 2 levels.
So I imagine one of you is holding a torch right now, since it's dark.
Yeah.
Which one of you is designated torch holder at the moment?
I would say Omaris, because I have a 200 axe.
Amaris, is that okay with you?
With me?
I mean, are you?
Do you wish to hold hold the torch?
Yeah. I'll hold the
Sweet.
torch.
Alright, then I shall put a torch indicator on you. There you go. Alright. So, it's about 7 miles from Oakhurst. You've now gone about 2 miles. It's dark. And you've got another 5 miles of traveling before you reach the area where Fawn believes the Sunless Citadel to be. Do you wish to continue on through the night, or do you wish to stop and get some rest?
Before that happens, I want to lower the torchlight to see any decent movement on the ground. Like that.
Alright, roll an investigation check, please.
Yep. Well, I see nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you seem to be night blind.
Yeah.
It's dark. It's like really dark out.
Well, we should probably rest up before we keep going. I don't want any of us to be too tired to actually do anything.
Sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Surrounded by trees.
Yep, you're surrounded by trees.
I'm gonna climb a tree.
Alright.
Climb the tree and lay on the branch.
What are the rest of you gonna do to rest?
I'm going to go behind a tree, not too secluded from the group, and I'm going to meditate there for a while.
Alright.
Trace is gonna like lay against the same tree Fredrickson is, but just on the ground, just lean against it.
And Van's gonna land a tree opposite to Utterus.
Alright. So, is anybody staying on watch?
Oh,
I'll take last when the sun is coming up.
I'll take first watch, sure.
Alright.
And Vaughn can wake up Fredrickson to take the second watch, since Fredrickson's the only other one with dark vision.
Makes sense. So it seems as the night passes, nothing more comes to attack you. You do occasionally hear like the rustle of a deer in the woods, finding some new forage. And as the morning starts to shine, bits and pieces of light shining through the trees, you're hearing birds. They're all getting through their morning routine, chirping, calling to each other.
He's chatting with the birds.
An occasional chitter of a chipmunk or a squirrel. Nothing too exciting, though.
Once everybody's awake, though, you'll notice that there is a squirrel with Frederick. And they're just chatting. Just having a grand old...
There's probably a bird sitting on your head, too. Now I'm seeing images of The Hobbit and the one wizard guy.
Yeah. I imagine him as a druid, honestly.
Yeah. Well, they're all called wizards in the Hobbit lexicon, but yeah.
He's a fucking...
In D&D, he'd be a druid.
Oh, Radagast, you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine Fredrickson basically a lot like that.
Yeah.
It
I imagine it was
explains.
more or less a little shorter, but yeah.
Yeah.
So dwarf is not dwarf. Where to next? Which way?
Why do you keep saying dwarf is not a dwarf?
Because you're
It's
not.
probably because he said that you can't fight. And he said that other dwarves fight like he does. And they like yell at each other and they drink beer all the time and get wasted and fight and fuck and fight.
Because I haven't been at home in God knows how long now.
He also said that you're what's a nerd? Whatever that is. I don't know what a nerd is.
Like people who don't understand the world.
Oh, I understand the world. Plenty.
No, you don't understand what is important in life.
Books.
No.
Knowledge,
Books are just dead trees that humans cut
knowledge
over.
is the most important thing in the world.
The
I have
GM says
knowledge.
it's books, therefore it is books.
I don't know. Book, therefore, it's not book. Where to? Cross then.
This way.
Right.
And I'm guessing we could in
Yep.
the same marching order as
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'll stick to it here.
Yep. You continue on down the road, or up the road rather, towards the north, till eventually you reach reach a narrow ravine. The road continues on, heading to the north, but to the east, the narrow ravine is quite obvious. At the road's closest approach to the cleft, several broken pillars jut from the earth where the ravine widens. Two of the pillars stand straight, but most lean atop sloped earth. Others are broken, and several have apparently fallen to the dark depths below. A few similar pillars are visible on the opposite side of the ravine. A sturdy, knotted rope is tied to one of the leaning pillars on this side of the ravine. What do you guys do?
It's gonna go across the bridge.
There isn't a bridge.
Oh, I think there's
Just a rope.
There's a rope that leads down.
And how deep is the drop?
we could just jump.
Which is why I'm asking how deep it is. Like,
It
can we
appears
see the bottom?
it appears to be 30 feet down, and has an average depth of about 30 feet and an average width of about 30 feet. But right here at where it's closely intersecting the road, it's about 40 feet wide.
Yeah, we can just. I've.
Frederickson's already going down.
Oh, you're climbing down. I can. Fine.
Roll an investigation check. Anybody who wants to look around further before going down?
Yeah, I'm gonna inspect that. Hopefully it'll be better.
Artrisk is gonna look for
Alright.
some more food.
As you look around, you notice that there's some graffiti on the various pillars. It appears to be in the Dwarvish alphabet. What languages do you two speak?
Hey, what the hell is this?
I clearly I speak Dwarvish.
Alright, so you recognize at least the characters that are written there. What other languages do you speak? It's not in it's in Dwarvish characters. It is not in the Dwarven language.
If you
Is it
ask,
all the way down?
if
Wait, the
you,
writing is all the way down or near the top?
They're on the pillars themselves, the graffiti.
if you ask
Draconic, official,
Artrisk,
uncommon.
Oh, you guys are talking
Giant.
over each other. I can't hear you.
Okay, you know
So
what?
first go with Rick. Let's
There you
okay.
I'll just do that.
So Fawn, you recognize that it's in Dwarven characters, but you do not have any idea what language it's in. Nick, the same. Arturus, you don't even recognize what characters those are.
I speak Gnomish, Common, or Common.
Yeah, you don't know what those characters are either. So, Fawn and Nick, you at least know what language the characters, but you know that it's at least not dwarven. It's just a dwarven script. It's like blah 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 blah.
Can I
And
do a straight intelligence or history check to figure out what it is?
given your history, no.
Just do straight intelligence then?
No. Given your history, since you're the way your character you're talking about your character, there's no way that your character would understand what this is.
Fair enough.
Can an artist make a presumption through in-game knowledge that it could be goblin because goblins live here?
Of course, you can say that anytime you want. And actually, from that's something that Fredrickson might have retained in terms of knowledge.
Goblin. And I was
Okay.
goblin.
It means come here and beat us up. I know. Let's go.
I'm sure it doesn't mean that.
Well, after Fredrickson realizes he doesn't know what it is, he loses interest in.
Can I inspect the rope that goes all the way down to see if all the four of us can go down before it snaps or something? Like the integrity of the rope itself.
It appears to be good condition, and it looks like, given your investigation checks, that it's been here no longer than 2 or 3 weeks.
Alright.
Oh, that might be from
You
like.
can also see small footholds carved into the cliff face from where you're at.
Mm.
And you also notice around the pillars that there's various small campfires, some as recent as about a month ago.
Okay,
But
I'm gonna go down
looks like the campfires were attempted to be hidden. But again, your investigation checks revealed them.
Okay, so I'm gonna go down the rope very slow. Is there any source of light down there that I can see?
No, the only light you can see comes from the sun.
Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, I'll go down the rope just to investigate. I'll just say, hold on, I'll try to see if I can find anything of use down there. If not, you guys can come down.
I'm already almost down there.
I'll start descending down.
So,
rope.
from the ledge, a sandy ledge overlooks a subterranean gulf of darkness to the west. The ledge is wide but rough. Sand, rocky debris, and the bones of small animals cover it. A rough-hewn stairwell zigs and zags down the side of the ledge, descending into darkness. Oh, as you reach this level, you notice that that it's actually another 800 feet below you as you've been wandering around. The far wall of the chasm is 250 feet to the west, and at this point, it's as deep as 80 feet. Below this point of where you now stand after coming down the ropes from the pillared area.
So where this small little hidden camp is just like a small cliff face, and then there's more.
Yeah.
All right.
So, who's getting onto the ledge first? That'd be Fredrickson?
I already started climbing down like as soon as I.
Okay, so Fredrickson, you've come down on the cliff. Ormus, you're next.
Yeah.
Alright, you're on the rope. Who's after that?
Dwarf, I think the underground is your terrain.
Yeah, I guess Fun will be next.
Alright. I'm just putting you guys into an order. Alright. So basically that line there is the top of the cliff up here. The top of the cliff up there, the rope down to the ledge. And referring to that as the ledge. As Fredrickson gets down off the rope and starts to look around, bam! Bits of the rubble start to shake, and what's hiding underneath comes out to confront him.
It's all dark there. I can't see nothing. At the
Oh, is
end.
that a rat?
Really big rats.
Oh, they're cute.
I look at them and I go, "Hi guys."
Well, technically they're
How's it going?
small, but they are big rats.
Oh yeah, I could talk to them then. I just start chatting them up. What's up, guys? How's it going?
With chatting to beasts, are you able to understand anything they say?
I am a forest gnome, so I can speak with small creatures.
Oh yeah, that's
But do you understand what they say back?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Then you are understanding they are chanting food, food, food. I'm waiting for Ormus and Fredrickson to roll.
Okay. Do I hear anything down there?
Oh yeah, you'd from your position on the rope, you definitely have heard them.
Okay, yeah, I'm going all the way down.
squeak, 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 squeak.
Yeah, just need you to roll initiative.
Alright.
Don't forget.
Yeah, the line basically represents where the rope is.
Okay.
So these guys are actually like this to make it easier. So fun. You probably don't hear anything from where you're at, so we're gonna skip your turn this time.
Okay.
It kind of counts as a surprise round, but you know, since you and Arteris are basically the only ones that are be surprised since you don't know what's going on down there. Whereas Fredrickson and Ormus would know because Ormus is up there and Fredrickson's down there. So, really should put dots. Remember to put dots on all of these guys. So sometimes I put them all in the same turn order, but yeah, when there's one person there, it's better not to do that. Alright, so this rat comes over and immediately tries biting you. And misses. Arteris! They're skipping that turn for that time. Ormus! You see that Frederickson's in trouble. A large rat, probably the size of a cat, comes over and starts biting at him.
Okay, I'm going to run over to Freddy.
You're on the rope. It's down. It's down from there.
Okay. So yeah, if I use all my movement, would I get all the way down to where Fred is?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Climbing is climbing the half speed of walking. It's like swimming, correct? Or is it a third?
I think it's
half, but I don't know if that is with rope or without rope. It's half, but I don't know if that is the same with rope, but might be. Probably.
Yeah, I'm checking something.
You could dash.
Huh. Some of this information I kept not being able to find in the book easily is sitting here on my DM screen. I keep forgetting about this thing. Like the travel pace that I kept looking for the other a couple sessions ago. I was searching hard, high and low for travel pace. It's right here on the GM screen. I was double checking it to see if it had the climbing speed. I'm gonna go with it's half, just like swimming. When you're on a rope, and it would be like 1/3 if you had to climb more, and you would have to do checks if you were just like on handholds. But since you're on a rope, it's half.
How long is the rope? To see if I can get
It's 25 feet, which means that it would take double movement. You would need to use movement speed as an action to get there.
I'll take a dash action.
Yeah.
To go all the way down. And be next to the
Yep, that would be this action down here. Dash. Yay.
Yeah. I can't use a bonus action to an unarmed strike.
Yeah, you're not a monk.
So, yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Oh, then you can do that. Yes. Sorry. For some reason, I thought you were a warrior, and my bad.
No problem. So yeah, I'll do an unarmed strike.
Oh yeah, then you're definitely can do the one arm strike.
Tell him to hold off on whatever. I tell him to hang on. Damn
You
it.
can do that on your turn. You can do that on your turn, Fredrickson. He basically, before you have a chance to speak anything, he comes down and smacks that one rat. Fredrickson, now you can yell at him.
Like, don't do that. I have an idea. Jesus Christ. I cast Goodberry, and I offer it to them in friendship. I go, here you go. I got food for you.
Roll a persuasion check. Or do you have the animal friendship spell?
I have animal handling.
That's right, that would be a spell in here. Yeah, then use animal handling. And your spell this turn has been, or is that a bonus action to cast a spell? To cast that spell.
Animal friendship is an action and it only works on one creature. But
No, I was talking about the Goodberry thing that he's using.
It's an action. There is an action.
Okay, so you have to roll an animal handling check.
I will. Do I get advantage because I offered them food?
No. It's what you're using to use animal handling.
Damn it.
Yeah, the green over here takes a bite, tries to take a bite out of Ormus. It misses. Blue doesn't seem swayed by Fredrickson's offer of food and jumps at him.
Yeah, that hits.
What is with this thing? Not automatically rolling damage. Ugh, they must have changed that again. Alright, so yeah, it takes a big bite out of you. Fun! At this point, you know that there's trouble down there.
Well, I will dash here. And that's my turn.
You're not gonna launch spells at it? Your firebolt?
I dash.
You didn't need to dash there.
Oh, it's just...
This is flat, and then...
No, that's flat, and that down there is the rope. The one that's arcing downward is the rope.
I misunderstood it then.
So
okay.
now you're basically at the rope and looking down towards the ledge at Fredrickson and Ormus.
Then I see the red rat, right?
Yep.
I shoot a firebolt at it.
The firebolt bounces harmlessly into the ground next to it, maybe burning up a couple bones. Red rat tries to take a bite out of Fredrickson.
That just
And the nose is down.
Yeah.
Arteris, you run to the edge and cast a firebolt at something.
I'll dash. Could I step next to Fan?
Yep.
I'll do that because I can't get further. That's my action.
You don't have a missile weapon?
I do, but that was my. That's 40 feet and I can't move that far.
Ah.
I'll move down 10 feet on the rope.
You can only move half speed down the rope, so you can only move 5.
Yeah, I had 20 left.
Oh, you have 20 left? Okay, sorry. But for some reason I thought you only had 10 left. Duh. My bad. Ormus.
Is Fredrickson unconscious there?
Yep, Fredrickson just landed down and the rats are chewing on him.
Oh. If only I had something to kill.
there's a pile of good berries that they haven't touched yet.
That's true.
Is there still some good berries on the floor?
Well, he was trying to hold one, but unlike a potion, a good berry needs you to be conscious, I think, to eat it. I'm not sure. Let me double check on that.
There's 10 of them. I believe that I can cast when I cast it.
Yeah. Just then. I don't know, it gives 1 health point.
Yeah, but I think that drinking you can automatically, infuse your body. Eating, on the other hand, isn't possible when you're unconscious.
I will do a medicine check later. We're not gonna have a second time that somebody dies on the first session. Nah, that's not gonna happen.
It's
Oh,
not a fun. It has to be a fun to count.
But
Yeah,
it's not a
that's
winter, so it shouldn't happen.
I mean, it is a Windstar.
No, Frederickson's not a Windstar. There's a Windstar at the
Oh.
party, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I meant Fawn Windstar. Yeah, no, I'm alright.
Does anybody have a way to heal him?
I mean, we can do not directly, but sure.
Okay, Okay, so I'm going to do
Take care of the
Yeah.
threat
medicine
first.
check.
Yeah, it specifies eating when it says the good bear requires eating to do that, and if you're unconscious, you cannot eat. You can technically drink, so that's why potions can be used on unconscious people, but you can't feed them a good bear and expect them to come up. Even if I ruled otherwise in the past, I am reasserting this ruling now.
I say
Maybe
the
you
threat
can
first.
crush him.
Okay, I'm going
What does
to.
Norma say? Okay.
I'm gonna use my action to stabilize Frederick. So that he doesn't start doing that same throws.
Alright, so that would be a medicine check, or unless you have a healer's kit.
Nope, I don't have to do this.
So that would require a medicine check.
Your amount, your wisdom should be okay.
Oh,
Nope. That's a fail on his death save.
okay. So I'm gonna kick that rat's ass with a kick.
But I'm coming to help you.
Which one are you hitting? Blue or green?
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll hit the blue one, the one that's right next.
Ooh, nice. 5 damage. Squeak! Fredrickson! Ooh, second death saving throw.
Dude, you're doing great.
Yep.
Is that his first or his second?
That's his second because you failed your. You didn't. You didn't get. You got under a 10 on your medicine check, so that instantly gave him a 1 on.
Really? I
They-
thought
Basically, when if you don't have a healer's kit and you're trying to just do a medicine check on him in order to stabilize him, if you get under a 10, it's the equivalent of doing a death saving throw on somebody. So you make the wound worse instead of better.
Oh.
Yeah, but there's a bonus.
And that one can potentially kill you. So.
Yeah. And now Omaris is gonna get swarmed by rats.
Nah, I'm fine.
I mean, your AC is probably high as shit, so.
16, so don't worry about me.
Yeah, you just.
You just
Yeah.
got hit, man.
These things all have advantage on you guys. They have pack tactics.
Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna rage when I get down there.
Is that an attack against me?
Yeah.
Yes, that's an attack against you.
Got hit by 6 hit points.
I'm fine, don't worry.
I mean, you got the lizard man heal.
The other one sits on Fredrickson's chest and swipes one of the good berries from his hand, chewing on it.
So now the rat gets healed. That's great.
Okay.
Only 1 point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Fun.
better than him killing Omaris.
Definitely not climbing down there because I'll be down there. So I'm just gonna cast magic spell then. On red.
All right.
All out red.
First missile kills it.
Oh, okay. Next missile will go for.
Oh wait, that are all the missiles.
That's all 3.
Oh, was that all? I
Yeah.
don't know.
First one was a.
Yeah, it took all 3 to kill it.
Does that
Okay.
automatically.
Oh, good, because it used to be you have to file individual missiles, but yeah,
I mean, I like the individual better if you want to like shoot.
spread
different
them.
targets.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ernest.
Is there a way for me to jump down on a rat from here?
Let's see.
All damage.
Yeah, you would take 2d6 damage.
Yeah,
Is that okay
fuck
with
it.
you?
Yeah, fuck it. I'll jump down on a rat. 2d6 is nothing. I could take fucking 12 and still live.
10 damage. You
Ugh.
nearly shatter your leg bones doing that, but you get to make an attack on the rat.
I still have more hit points than Fawn.
Well, how much hit points do you have right now?
7.
I have 10, so
Oh. Oh yeah, that's true. You're right.
I'm a dwarf. Remember this.
Yeah, you landed on the rat. What make an attack.
Oh. I should have raised.
Should have, but you.
And you kill the rat that's underneath you.
I'm gonna rage. Nah, I shouldn't rage. Oh, that was my action. Yeah, I'm done.
Yep, you're done. Ermis.
Ready?
Do the lizard
So yeah,
and heal.
I'll do a round of attack so we can just get rid of this. One with my spear and one unarmed strike.
All right. And the spear immediately impales it. You now have a dead rat on your spear.
Yay! We have dinner, you guys.
Yes, it looks like you now have dinner.
Let's now try to save our friend.
Yeah, I'm looking at a chase. I'm like, do you know how to do stuff? You know, bring him back.
I can try to make a medicine check.
Oh, so
Does anybody have a healer's kit?
No.
That's funny.
Anyone have a potion?
I mean, I'm the barbarian. I'm the one who would least likely have it. But I have a plus 2 in medicine.
Fine, right?
Do you have one? I mean, if I know you have one, I'll use it.
I don't.
Yeah.
But
It's on the list now. It's on the list now of buying
someone
shit.
thought about it. They might be able to juice the good berries. Maybe.
I do know you use good berries, but I
If
don't.
you're gonna take any amount of time to do any of that, Frederickson will have to make one more death saving throw.
Should I make a medicine check? Do you want to run the risk of dying by me, or do you want it to be your own fate? I mean, you do have to.
I have 2 fails right now.
I should do it because you still need to make 4 of them. Yeah, I'll do it.
No, you have to make 3 throws. One more, and he's dead.
So sorry if you die, man. This stuff give me any help? Like I get 2 extra hit points every level. I must know something about like being healthy.
No, that only applies to your own body. It doesn't apply to medicine.
Yay!
Woo! Don't kill him!
Woo!
Good, I have a plus 2 in wisdom.
I stabilized now.
Yes, you're stabilized but not awake.
Okay.
How many berries are there?
9.
There are 9 left. One of the rats ate. The rat that you landed on ate one.
Amaris, do you want some?
Sure. But why don't you give it to Frederickson?
I mean, yeah. I'll give him 5. No, I'll give him all 9. Sure.
Well, at the moment, Frederickson's unconscious and can't use them.
Can we turn them into like some type of a juice, a pulp that's easier so he can drink it?
Sure.
Sure. Let's juice the grapes.
Let's make him a good, very jamba juice.
Yeah, some.
All right,
good
so
wine.
roll a 1d10.
Who, me or Triz?
Whoever's doing the juicing, roll a 1d10.
As a lizard folk,
Okay,
you are
okay.
more in tune with all the shit of making things. Like you can make things out of bones and shit. So this should be your role. It's your thing.
Okay, so 1d10?
Yep,
Yeah.
1d10.
/R space 1d10.
Nice. So you take all 9 berries, You squish him up and dribble the juice into Fredrickson's mouth, restoring 4 hit points to him.
Yes.
I had a terrible dream.
Come on, buddy. I ain't leaving you here yet. Besides,
You're looking
I
kind
need
of
to
rough
get
there,
paid.
guy. You're looking kind of rough there, guy. Hang on a second, and I spend my last spell slot and cast Goodberry again, and I make 10 more. You want some?
Sure. How
So
many?
I'll give 2 to Ormus. I'll give 2 to Atreus.
Think we get more berries?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the last Dookie's time he couldn't.
Okay.
They look dead rats. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah,
Oh.
I lift up the rat and field on my spear. I'm like, we don't need to look for food anymore.
Well, we need
Yeah.
to leave with
I
good
tried
berries.
to be friendly.
I-
They must have just been starved. Starvation can drive animals to do terrible things. I think under better circumstances they would have listened. But unfortunately, survival of the fit. You guys are definitely a lot more fit than
I tie one with the tail to my belt for later.
If you wish to know more about your surroundings, please do a survival check.
This is my spear.
Alrighty then.
Yep.
You reveal several things, starting with you see humanoid footprints as well as tracks of unusual size, probably the dead ones at your feet, leading down the stairs. As you're searching around, also you discover among the rubble is an old ring of stones that contains and is mostly covered by an accumulation of ash from likely hundreds of fires. It looks though that no fire has been here for many years now. Inside the ash pit, you even find a few spear tips and animal bones.
You said there was a ring?
An old stone ring, a fire pit ring.
Oh. Alright.
I collect the bones in there. First of all, can I identify something that isn't human or rat?
Nature check.
All right. Yeah, I'm not proficient.
They look to be mostly rat bones.
Okay,
The spear tips that were among them, though you recognize as being a goblin make.
Okay. So I pack the bones into my backpack and tell the guys, hey, heads up, these are goblin spearheads.
Well,
Should we go now or take like a quick break? Like an hour, like to be fully powered.
Does anybody want to? I guess he skin these rats.
I mean, if anyone needs to rest, we should probably take a short rest.
I mean, we're not gonna be one for food anytime soon, since I can make berries.
But meat is always nice.
I've had it on a few occasions during my travels when I could find.
So are we taking a quick short rest so that we're at full capacity? Because we're probably gonna head into a fight again.
Yeah, that should be.
Yeah.
Now, just so everyone understands, Fredrickson's not completely herbivore. He does eat meat.
Just not
Because
moose.
Yeah, just not moose.
Ooh, that's good. Whoa. Yeah, you're at max.
Yep. Maybe I can get up there.
So from somewhere far above you, circling in the sky, you hear the call of a vulture.
Oh.
I tie down the rat from my hip and like offer it to the vulture.
Roll animal handling.
Pat vulture, pat vulture, pat vulture. No, pet vulture.
The vulture continues to circle. It does not appear to come any closer.
I say hi to the vulture. Hi, vulture. How's it going?
Shitty bird. It doesn't want my food. I
Let's
don't
get
know.
him.
I lift up the spear with the rat on it to see if it's any better at attracting it.
Animal handling again, please.
Here, 3D, 3D, 3D.
The vulture is also ignoring you.
Alright.
I'll try.
Barn will grab 2 dead rats. 2 of the dead rats. And try and get the vulture's attention. Because why not?
Vulture won't listen to puny dwarf.
Nope.
A white substance falls from the sky and lands on Fan.
I'll presentation that away. Thank you.
I suddenly like the vulture again.
I whistle at it, just trying to do a vulture call.
Alright.
The vulture is soon joined by several other vultures. But they are still circling high.
More.
Alright, let's get a move on.
Let's go.
Sorry, what'd you say, Nick?
I want to look at beyond the stone circle with all the ashes to see if I can see any footprints leading anywhere.
Well, the footprints of small humanoids and the rats all appear to be heading down the stairs.
Down
that are at this
stairs.
level.
Is it all dark? Like, I don't have dark sight. Would I be able to see?
With the torch you have, yes, you would be able to see it. The further down you get, the darker it becomes.
Okay.
Because you're basically getting out from under the where the sun can touch, inside the ravine.
All right. Come on, guys, let's go.
Let's lay some gobs.
Yeah. Let's get paid.
Yeah.
Oh, you get paid for exploring
No,
Suness.
the mom of the kid would pay us would like find those like ringy dingies. And like
Along the way,
gobbies have them.
you basically keep going back and forth, hitting onto 3 small landings along the route. Basically, you're going to get to one landing, then the stairs start going down the opposite direction. Hit another landing, they go down down the opposite direction again, and so on and so forth. Basically, switchback stairs, 5 foot wide. As you continue to descend, a fortress emerges from the darkness. The subterranean citadel, though impressive, seems long forgotten, with the lightless windows, cracked crenellations, and leaning towers are any indication. All is quiet, though a cold breeze blows up from below, bringing with it the scent of dust and a faint trace of rot. Finally, as you reach the ground area, you discover the narrow stairs empty into a small courtyard, apparently the top of what was once a crenellated battlement. The buried citadel has sunk so far into the earth that the battlement is now level with the surrounding floor. That floor stretches away to the north and south, composed of a layer of treacherous, crumbled masonry, which reaches to an unknown depth. To the west looms the surviving structure of what must be the sunless citadel. A tower stands on the west side of the courtyard. So you see before you a large courtyard with dust and debris all around.
Wow, this place hasn't seen much use in ages.
I
Oh.
would like to check to see if I notice anything body like what like if there was like a fight here, if there were bodies here at one.
Alright, roll an investigation check. You don't see any bodies, but you do see lots and lots of debris everywhere. That the entire courtyard is basically very unsteady. That you run the risk of slipping and falling all over the place, and you would require acrobatics checks for every 10 feet traversed.
Cool.
They're basically a whole bunch of cavities that are running all over the place, and it's hard to see them by looking even from the base of the stairs.
Can
So-
I make a perception check to see how if there's like another way around it?
Sure,
Or, like,
you can make a roll.
To take other ways?
Nope.
Fan will look for another way.
You don't notice much of anything either.
I'll look.
Do I recognize
I still don't notice.
like do I recognize who built this place? Like, does it seem elvish, human?
Roll a history check.
Oh, yeah. Does Fan recognize the stonework?
Roll a history check.
You have
And I
advantage.
no, I don't have advantage. I think I double my
No, stone cunning or something.
Yeah, I think that's double my
Yeah, double proficiency. That's true. Expertise.
yeah, double proficiency. So
And double trees.
You gonna make your roll?
yeah, I was just making it roll for my double proficiency.
Alright.
Say it again.
You studied the architecture for a bit, and you had the feeling that while it is an unusual spot, many bits of the architecture itself bear a deep resemblance to the ancient elves that lived in the area, long before they were enslaved in the West and mostly murdered.
I just begin writing that down on a piece of paper I have, parchment I have. Just nice little finding.
What's with everyone and their parchment and their writing down stuff? Berwickson like names, you like stone stuff. Ormond, do you write stuff down? Is it like something I should do too?
No, I got a pretty good memory, a decent one at least, and I've read stuff, so I really don't write things down. You want me to write something down for you?
Well, I write things down for posterity.
Plus what TV?
For posterity.
Boss.
Forget about it.
I write down a list of people who I'm gonna place a hit on. You don't mess with the Moose Mafia.
He's joking. He's joking. Aren't you, you little jokester? Don't tell him you're gonna kill him. He's gonna press first.
I didn't know he's on the list. Character. But yeah, Fredrickson has a straight face. You don't understand Moose politics. He gets pretty.
Well, we have to go through this way somehow.
Alright. Who first? Should I go first? Ulysses?
You said that we'll need a check to advance every some feet, right?
Every 10 feet, yeah. It looks like it's only about 15 feet to the other to the doorway. Actually, 20 feet. Sorry, a total of 20 feet. So that'll be two. So give me one check first to see if you fall into anything, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Okay, I'll go ahead. I'm gonna try to use the spear as kind of balance my way out, like in the circus.
Right.
So that would be acrobatics.
Acrobatics, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, nope. You just do. As you attempt to cross into the debris, you get about 5 feet in, and you find yourself slipping. You're basically slipping a bit and get stuck with one foot inside a little tiny crevice.
I'll go next.
Don't worry, guys. I have this.
Wait, Ferguson, wait. I have an idea.
Be a terrible spot for a fight.
I have an idea.
Go on.
Yes? What's your idea?
I can chuck you.
Okay.
I'll try to chuck him to the other side.
Alright.
Hold on, squirrel friend.
What is that?
Be a bumpy ride.
It's athletics, probably? I don't know. What's the thing you roll for checking in the room?
Athletics, yeah.
Next check. Oh. Improvised ranged weapon.
Something like that, yeah. Oh, monster cheats.
You want me to do acrobatics to see if I land on my feet?
Yep.
I do
Yeah.
a front flip.
Nice.
Wow, that was impressive.
Damn.
We break this.
Yeah, you land all the way over there. For
That's
starters, I'm just
actually
gonna have you do that, just so that we can have a turn order on this.
Oh, I was
That
thinking,
actually-
if Fredrickson is in front again, he's gonna get murdered again. I was like,
Fredrickson.
So roll initiative, just so we can see who goes next.
That roll, by the way, is literally the exact opposite of what Fawn rolled earlier for an animal.
I know, right?
Like same numbers too, just reversed.
Yeah.
But Fawn, you
Like,
get to also
third.
you get to also make a turn going in before the rest of initiative order kicks in. So Fawn, let's see what you got.
Acrobatics, right?
Acrobatics.
Take it as succeeded or
Yep, you succeed. You can move 10 feet. Alright. Artemis, what would you like to do?
I have climber's gear. Could I technically? This is a wall, right?
No, that's a flat area that's denoting where all the rubble is. Actually, next to that is kind of actually, no, there's kind of a wall there. It's just a sheer up after that. It's like, sunk into the ground. There's, all the stairs you climbed up, and then you have this area here with all this rubble in the middle, with the door on the other side.
Could I
You
like
do a red
sideways
jump.
climb along the wall? I climber's gear.
Crab people.
I don't know. Could I?
Crowd talk like.
You can attempt to, but I'm not sure what the climber's kit has to do with that.
Do a flip.
Yeah,
For
fuck it.
your
Oh,
city.
fuck it. Fuck it. I'll just do acrobatics and fail miserably at it.
That's not
You're saying.
miserably.
Alright. So this is the entrance here. You get right there. Alright, Fredrickson. What would you like to do?
Wait, where's the entrance at?
Entrance would be over here. This is where the stairs leading up that go into this area in the first place.
All right. Well, I'm going to reserve my action until something hostile comes.
You're just gonna stand there and wait?
Yep, I'll have my tree stump up ready.
Alright, fun.
Gonna
What do
keep
you do?
trying to go across it.
Alright.
He trips and falls.
Oh.
This is an upside down dwarf in a hole now. It's like they're kicking.
Don't make fun of your employer.
Alright. So fun, you're stuck you're stuck in place for the moment. You can't move. Or miss. You managed to get your foot out from unwedged. You can try to move again.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out of that. Do we need a check?
Yeah. Then let's see if you can actually move.
What check?
Acrobatics. It's going to be acrobatics anytime that you haven't fallen down and gone prone.
Right.
You're still stuck. You basically slipped your foot back into that little spot and you're trying to pull it free again.
Like, I'm free! Oh god.
Arteris.
Like the old man from the Hunchbacks of Notre Dame. Dang it.
I'll just go forward again, hopefully.
Right.
Nope, I'm
Nope,
stuck.
you're stuck. Fredrickson.
We're very bad at crossing this, aren't we?
You're looking over at your companions and see if they're all kind of like stuck in place. What do you do?
Hey, you guys are funny.
Well, I'd love to see you try this.
I don't have. Dude, I'm over here. I did a front flip. Is there something I can tie a rope to?
Nothing that you see now.
Oh, okay.
The rubble's all like kind of littering everywhere. And you're basically all roboted, by the way. Your voice?
Well, then. Oh. Is that better, or am I still robotic?
Sounds better.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do what I did before, just kind of hang out.
Smoke your pipe, maybe.
Fun! Yep.
Going to
enjoy
get
the show.
across this dang stupid field.
Alright, you can move 10 feet.
Yay. Hey.
As soon as you get to that square, you feel a shift under your feet. Roll a dexterity check. Alright, you probably let a scream as you drop down into the pit that opens up underneath you. Let's see, how far does that pit go? Alright, 1d6, it's 10 feet. Let's see if it has spikes.
Level 4. I will cast Featherfall to slow me down.
It's a reaction? Okay, so you don't take any damage. You probably learned your lesson from the last one who died in a pit.
Yes. I made sure to grab Featherfall. I was like...
Nick, for your information, you ever played Curse of Strahd?
No. No, I haven't.
Alright. Well, in the first session, he was running away from a pack of ghouls, turned down a corridor he'd never been before, and ended up collapsing into a pit trap full of spikes, and instantly died.
That was
And then,
next character.
Yeah.
Then his next character was squeezed to death by a shambling mound.
In the next session as well.
Yes.
There's 2 sessions and 2 deaths. from the
Yes.
same person.
But his third character's been alive for 2 sessions now, so...
So we haven't really done much fighting.
Well, that's true, because you got invited to the castle, but anyway. And because
Right,
Quentin wasn't feeling well last session, so we cut it short. Yeah, I take it you're feeling a lot better, Quentin?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on painkillers right now, so.
Ouch. Sorry to hear that. Alright, so, as you make it to the bottom with Featherfall, you discover that there are 2 skeletons. They roughly appear to be goblin size. At the bottom. Actually, make that 1 skeleton and 1 dead and 1 body. As you land, you hear a squeaking noise as a giant rat who was feeding on said body versus skeleton is startled by the fact that you're there.
Oh, I appear to have accidentally dropped in on you. Keep eating. I won't do anything. Oh. Why? Why the rats?
There's a lot of rats in this one. Ormus, you basically saw Fawn disappear. You heard the sound of something opening. You see Fawn slowly vanishing underneath of it.
Wow, what a nice magic trick! And I tried to get out. Oh, please work. Hey.
He climbs over a trance.
Yep, you can move 10 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna see if you'll let me do it. I want to actually step back where there's not rubble, and see if I can use my spear to pole vault the farthest away I can.
Ooh.
Oh,
That would be an athletics check.
okay.
It pretty much just lands you right back there.
All right. I'm gonna stay there.
Giant rat, leaves off the live corpse and startledly attacks Fawn. Oops, that wasn't
Ow.
supposed to be under advantage, but that doesn't matter anyway.
Okay. Well then.
Utterus, you heard Fawn cry out as he from the bottom there.
I will try to move. Of acrobatics. Move.
No, you're stuck. Fredrickson, a 10-foot deep, 10-foot wide pit opened up right next to you. You saw Fawn fall into it, and you hear him crying out because something's attacking him. What do you do?
Oh, look. See the rat. Hey, look. And this time, I'm to persuade the rat not to.
Really?
Nope.
Diplomacy with rat? Please.
He is a wood gnome. He
Stop
thinks he can
trying
talk to everything.
The rat
Stop trying
diplomat.
to persuade my attacker. And attack him.
Fredrickson will one day be the Rat King.
I will.
I attack.
Rickson wants to become the Pied Piper.
Well, I'm going to try and smash her with my light hammer. Nope.
Nope, it's meant just to squeak out of the way. Ormus.
Okay, we're gonna take this nice and slow. I'm gonna do another check.
Yep, you can move a full 10 feet.
Alright.
Which means that should get you right there. So you can look down into the pits.
Is that my action or my movement?
That's your movement. You can look down to the
Okay.
pit and see that a rat is attacking. It's 10 feet down.
Me.
Can I? Okay, so I'm gonna throw my spear at the rat.
Yep. Right as the rat attempts to bite it, Fawn again, a sphere comes flying down from above and impales it directly into the ground.
I
The
shot
rat's
down. You
eyes.
owe me one.
The rat's eyes go
I'm already
glassy.
paying you, so I don't owe you anything, technically.
I beg to differ.
I mean, I owe you money, but that's after the...
Money's good.
All right,
And I believe that's my turn.
Odorous, what do you do?
Arcturus is gonna. This is gonna sound weird, but he's gonna lay down on his belly and he's just gonna like shuffle crawl so he can't step into the holes. He just like
All right,
lays on the flat
you
surface.
get advantage, but you can only move 5 feet like this.
Better than not moving.
And you find your hands slipping into a crevasse, and
This isn't
you're
our
kind of
first
like
time.
laying down.
I really need to make an LB check right now.
5 hours later, they cross.
I feel like at this
Fredrickson.
point, Trace should just rage. I feel like at this point, Trace should just rage and just get it over with.
Yeah, maybe. Oh no, that's athletics, not acrobatics. Okay, not bad.
I look at Ormus. I go, Ormus, you have I got this. He looks through his bag. He pulls out a part of a rope. This thing.
Now that the trap has opened up down there, you notice that there's that part of this area. There's a tiny catwalk here directly in front of the door that can get you over the trap.
I will go ahead and I'll walk on that catwalk. See if there's like anything I can tie this rope to.
Doesn't look like it, but as you get over here and look into the can see into the round room beyond, you can see that this circular area is cobbled with cracked granite upon which sprawl the bodies of 4 goblins, apparently slain in combat. One corpse stands with its back against the western wall, the spear that killed it still skewering and holding it upright. You can probably tie your rope to that. 3 wooden doors lead from this area. A hollow tower of loose masonry reaches 30 feet into the air, but the intervening floors and stairs are gone except for a couple of crumbling ledges.
I'm gonna tie a rope around and throw it down. Tall, short guy. Like this should help you come up. It's the same thing we used to get down here. And then I look at Ormus. There's more pointy sticks in here, like the one you just threw at the rat.
Bring me up. Bring me some then. I need ammo.
But Fredrickson comes back and puts the rope down there so that Fawn can get himself up and see into the tower.
Well,
Here you go, tall,
before I
short
start-
guy.
before I start climbing, I take the spear that was thrown, just so I can give it back to almost once I get back up. So then I start climbing the rope. Do I need to check for that one?
No, you're good. You have a rope. But you, as you pull yourself up, you end up yanking free the spear that was attached to the wall in there, and you can see the body of the goblin slumped down. And ruins and draconic are visible behind the body.
Ooh, draconic. Well, I'll wait
And you
for-
see that there's a name written in draconic on that wall. Ashardalon, a name that came up in your research as a dragon that used to be in this area.
Oh.
Ormus.
Okay. Athletics to see if I can walk.
Alright, you're good.
For 5 or 10 feet.
10 feet.
Alright.
I should get you all of
I should get you over to the, all the way over here.
Yay! I see the edge and I almost start crying. Finally.
Artemis, you're still on your belly.
I start rubbing the calf that stuck in that trap and got stuck in the rubble at the beginning.
I'm gonna try to walk again. Yeah,
Yay!
Woo!
I
He does a
can
front
do.
handspring and lands next to Ormus.
Exactly. He does. For the nat 20, he does indeed. So I take it at this point we're just gonna have you guys looking in on that building there. Get rid of all these little temporary drawings. Yeah, this is what I do when I don't actually have a map I can put on Roll20 itself. I just sit there and I do little do everything. Because I mean, everybody around a table used to just have to deal with the DM talking. Occasionally they would have tile sets, but usually it was just the GM talking or laying the tile sets down as they went.
Hey, Fawn, how much health are you missing?
Zero the money.
I'm missing 5 HP.
Tris, you're missing 1, I assume?
2.
I missed exactly half of my
Alright.
health.
I will cast Goodberry and I'll get 5 on.
Yes, thank you.
I keep some on the side, I would say.
Yeah, I have some spare. See, I gave up 7. They're just going in my beer.
So I get 5 health.
For later.
Ask Vaughn for any of the spears if you can at least give me one.
But you also
Actually,
got your
I-
spear back.
Yeah, I actually pick up the pointy stick that was in the wall. And go, well, this was in the wall, but here, you wanted one.
Yeah, the body that was pinned by it is now laying on the ground. A goblin. Looks like these guys died in some sort of fight. Doesn't look like it was with each other though.
Figure out what happened.
Oh, you definitely know they died in a fight.
Yep.
Well, I might as well figure out what happened. Why not?
Did better than I did.
You can do investigation, you can do perception, you can do survival.
I just
got
didn't.
Alright. Investigation. You investigate the 4 goblin bodies. Looks like they've been dead for a while. Rats have gnawed on them. They've been looted. But, you know, the last one that was up there was that one that was attached by the spear, which is now out of its body. You see the draconic ruins. It says the name Ashardalon, who you believe, from your reading, is a dragon that used to live in the area. Arturus, as you search around, you notice that there is some kind of loose brick, a bit of masonry to the south that makes you. It seems to be some kind of secret door. Looks like the block can be moved either left or right. Can be pushed in on the left side or pulled out from the right. There we go. That's what the wording is.
I point and I say, door?
You notice that there's some sort of lever there, and the loose masonry is indicating a lever. The lever can be pushed, can either be pulled out to the left, pulled out to the right or pushed into the left. And it appears that it's right next to what appears to be a secret door.
I'll pull it into the right.
All right, you're pulling the lever. You're pulling the lever out. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
All right. All right. As you do so, you feel a prick to your hand, and you take 1 damage.
Wrong way.
All right. I pull it. I push it.
All right. You hear a bit of a click, and a door kind of slides open to the south. This pocket chamber is damp and cold. The skeletons of 3 long-dead archers slump against the rubble-filled arrow slits along the east and south wall.
Secret door.
Cool.
I'm gonna follow Trace into his chamber.
You're going in. You're going into the small secret room.
Yeah.
I wanna to.
As soon as you walk in,
Oh.
Oh.
the three skeletons. Oops. The 3 skeletons immediately start moving. Red fire sparks in their eyes as they rise up.
I was literally about to say, I'm gonna play golf with one of their heads.
Well, you're gonna have to
You
try
able to do
it.
it.
Quentin, by the way, you get a point of health back from my beard.
Oh, you gave me. Please be high this time. Please be high.
Oh.
It was high. Oh, you meant you.
Yeah. That's high number 6. Ooh.
You have to be careful because you said please be high as I was rolling. So of course it was going to be me.
Oh yeah, that's high. The 22. Yeah.
So the skeleton archer picks up its short bow and launches an arrow out at Ormus.
I mean, the skeletons are overcompensating, really. Like
The next one also lets loose a short bow at Ormus.
Oh.
I missed. Skip.
Ormus.
Alright. I'm gonna walk up to one of the archers and hit him with my spear, and the one beside him, I'm going to turn around and give him a roundhouse.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
Spear.
Alright, that first one misses. Second one?
And
Second one, you smack it, you hear bones buckling a bit. Is this a bludgeoning attack?
It
Yeah.
sure is.
Can you put that in your in the text of your strike, by the way?
Yeah,
You basically,
like,
yeah, that's what I was saying. When you hit it, it just seems to crack a whole bunch of the skeleton's ribs. You can just feel them cracking underneath your hand. Fredrickson. Excuse me. Well, actually, the chamber would be about that big. 1 second. Let me throw in a circly thing so it's more obvious. Yeah, basically, this is a very tiny little chamber here.
Oh,
so I can't.
I remember this. I have played this before one time.
Actually, even more so. It's actually more like this. Actually, now that I'm looking at it. There you go.
Oh, that's extraordinary.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't have gone in there now.
Is can I see
I'm
this?
realizing.
Can I see this dude? You're in.
Yeah, you can sort of see him.
So if I attacked him, would that be?
I think you can make out enough of him that you can smack him, especially with your long stick.
Yep, I'm going to attack him with my Shillelagh.
Not like some doorways, which are so tight in that you can't see that. This is more of like bit more of an open doorway.
Sorry, I need to add bludgeoning. So
Yeah.
magical and bludgeoning.
So that instantly causes the skeleton to collapse to the ground.
Max damage.
Yep. Well, they're vulnerable to bludgeoning, so fun.
I look at the lizard man and go, I helped.
Well, I can't really
Smile at him.
can't really do much, so I'm just gonna go here and ready a firebolt. Also, I have to go for a second, but hopefully it shouldn't take too long.
Okay.
Fredrickson, quick tip. Shillelagh also ups the die from a D6 to D8.
Well, I left it as a D6 because I'm not using two hands with the quarterstaff.
No, it automatically makes it a D8.
Oh, really?
Shillelagh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to read
at
that,
least
but
I think
I'll
so.
fix that.
Shillelagh does that, not because it's two-handed.
Let me read that then while.
All right. So, Aris, it's your turn.
He's gonna rage stomp in there, and he's gonna cleave the guy's head off.
And golf with this guy's head it is. The skull goes flying. It smacks into the wall, pulverizing into dust.
Dude,
Hey, you gotta play golf, man.
Hole in one.
Alright, so it immediately drops its short bow, pulling out its short sword to stab at Ormus, and misses.
True.
Ormus.
I'm going to kick that guy once, then twice if he's not down.
All right. And it's down. You basically pulverized that one to dust. It's very useful to have a monk.
I have a question quick.
Yeah.
Is Atreus a Azamar?
Nope, he's a human.
Dude, you missed out. You missed an opportunity there.
I mean, I was thinking of going Goliath.
Well, I mean, if you said you based it off of Atreus.
Yeah.
He's son of a god, so.
Yeah, but he's
That is
also
true.
so.
Although he does remind me of the pictures I've seen of him. Does remind me of the quintessential Goliath.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's probably Kratos. Atreus is
okay. Sorry, I'm just confusing the two.
You know,
I played like one God of War game once, a long time ago.
before I started watching the gameplay for the new God of War, I'm like, there's no possible way they can make Kratos anything more badass. And then they made the new God of War.
Oh my
I
god,
was
yeah.
amazingly mistaken.
I'm so tempted to just buy PlayStation 4 to play that game.
I need a job so I can buy that game because I have it.
It looks so good, so good.
Oh my god, I love Norse mythology. I love mythology in general.
Yeah. Oh, Norse mythology.
Anywho, sorry.
Yeah. I thought these guys were gonna be harder. Now I feel like I wasted the rage.
They're skeletons.
Yeah,
What'd you
like, I don't know. I mean, we're first level, and I have like 17 hit points, so I shouldn't be doing anything. So like, I mean,
I'm just happy they didn't get around to attacks on me, or else I would have been screwed.
I mean, Atreus is at the moment a god because he gets +5 every level in health.
So, among the bodies, you discover 60 arrows in total.
Oh, they're dead.
Yep.
I'm back by the way now.
I've been forgetting to add up the XP. God damn it.
What were your putties will tell you?
What
Where are we
number
at
are we?
now? I think I missed.
We're at
17
88.
silver.
We're at how much again? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
88.
And you find a single +1 arrow.
Hey.
Who uses arrows except for me? Because I have a bow. I haven't used it yet.
I think I'm here.
Yay, I get a +1 arrow.
So how are you going to divide up that gold? There's only 2 gold pieces in there.
Hey,
I
so
Who has a bow?
I do.
You also find 3 short bows and a short sword. On the corpses.
seeing as this is my expedition, I will give everybody.
I don't need the gold if you buy me ale later. I mean, technically speaking, it's it's almost 4 gold.
Everybody gets 5 silver.
Really? Alright.
Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't matter.
And because I'm paying gold, I'll take the gold.
Sure. Let's keep going, man. More things to slay.
Okay, so as you finish looting the skeletons in their little area here, there are 2 other doors in the wide circular room. One is to the north. Sorry, one's to the northwest, and the other's to the southwest. Both of them look about the same in terms of they're both wooden. They're just both both leading out of here. What do you guys do?
Go for south, boss.
I'll take the torch and go to the southwest. Let's.
Southwest sounds good.
Okay, we're going southwest then.
Yeah,
Alright.
not like
Unless you want to split up the party.
Yeah, let's split the party.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
Yeah,
That ended
Alright.
well last time.
Search for
that's a
clues.
good idea.
Alright, please put yourselves in marching order so I can see who's going first.
I'll be next to
I'm guessing-
Morris
Okay.
because I can't see without him. He's
so
the
which
light
way is
of my.
forward?
Alright.
Magic Stone behind Atreus.
Wait, Vaughn, what are you class-wise?
I'm a wizard.
Or
Yeah, someone go with Vaughn.
Oh, sorcerer, sorry.
Yeah, either I go with Vaughn or I go with Vaughn. Or else
Does
We're
anybody
gonna
have the
die.
light cantrip?
nope.
9. I have a torch either way, so
I mean,
everything's more or less lit.
yeah, alright. Sure, I'll be in the back as long as I can see.
It's a good thing you can hit with your feet because that would otherwise be taking away some of your fighting ability with the torch.
Yeah.
All right. As you open the
They
door, you see the following: the masonry walls of this 20-foot wide hall are in poor repair. The far end has collapsed, filling the southern section with rubble. The western wall is in much better shape than the other walls, and it holds a stone door with a rearing dragon carved in a relief on it. The door has a single keyhole situated in the rearing dragon's open mouth.
That's not ominous at all. I walk into a room with the torch. Besides the door and the crumbled down wall, do I find anything of note?
Roll an investigation check.
I will also.
This is gonna go great.
Pretty much you just see the rubble on the door. Other than that, it appears to be all emptied.
What do I find? Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
All There ain't shit in here, lizard man.
Yeah, it's like I walk towards in front of the door.
All right.
See, and I inspect the keyhole. Is it very intricate?
Yes. It appears to be an exquisitely made lock that require a very dexterous hand in order to get through it, or the key that belongs there.
Now, do we need a dexterous hand or a small hand?
Highly dexterous, meaning you need these tools.
What?
Oh, I was gonna say because I have a squirrel.
Arcreus has a good question. What's the door made of?
It appears to be made out of... Let's see what it says. Stone. It is a door made of stone.
God damn it.
I have a
That goes back to
squirrel. Can I use the squirrel?
If anybody has a
It's the lock is too small for the squirrel.
But there's
Does anybody have these tools?
none of us.
Would there be a way for me to barehandedly force the lock with bare power and force the
Does
door open?
not appear to be a rational solution to getting that lock open.
So we're
Alright.
just gonna have to go to the other.
Yeah,
door.
let's go around.
Yeah. I'll do a quick scan of the room with the torch to see if I can find the key on the floor or something. To see if it's in the room.
You already rolled an investigation check earlier, so that one's still in effect, and so the answer is no. You do not see anything useful in the area.
Wait,
So I go
Okay.
for mine as well.
wait. I have one last idea.
Yes, that includes yours.
Atreus knocks on the door.
Alright. It's very solid. It's unclear if anything could be heard on the other side.
That doesn't work. Worth a try.
Worth a shot.
To
Okay.
the other door.
To the other corridor now.
Alright. Back into marching order.
So yeah, I'll keep on the rear then.
Alright, so as Fawn opens the door, you see a long, narrow corridor, kind of dusty. You can see that there are two doors, north and south, and another door on the far end of the west.
Well, I guess. We've gotta go this way. So,
So a door north, one south, and one west after a
Yep.
corridor.
Yep.
Okay.
I will ride them.
I'll slowly start walking down the corridor towards the
Yeah.
west.
I'll go.
Alright.
I was gonna say north. So I go to the north door.
Alright. You open the door and you see... Hold on. Ah! I'm gonna start making rules now. And you see nothing but an empty room, a ruined chamber that stands empty and all but littered by rocky debris. You do not appear to see any other way out of this particular room.
Hello? French yells. Anyone home? I don't think anyone's home.
Start walking down the corridor.
Yeah, to the north door this time.
That was the north door.
Then we'll try the west door.
Alright. So at the far end, at the west door, at the far end of the corridor, it opens up, And you see...
Santa Claus.
No. Crudely... Guys, crudely executed symbols and glyphs scribed in bright green dye decorate this large and irregularly shaped crumbling chamber. A large pit in the center shows evidence of a recent fire. A metallic cage in the middle of the southern wall contains a gaping hole and stands empty. A small wooden bench draped with green cloth is next to the cage, and several small objects rest on it. A bedroll lies near the wooden bench, and the sound of whimpering comes from inside it.
Ferguson immediately investigates.
Right. As you come to find the source of the whimpering sound, you see a small lizard-like creature, half the size of your lizard folk guy, Ormus, kind of laying curled up on a bedroll. It appears to be crying.
I'm like, excuse me, are you okay?
Alright, give me 1 second. I just need to see if this thing speaks common.
While he's doing that, I wanna so I can identify the scripted glyphs.
The creature rolls over and blinks its big eyes at you and says, "Glenn's dragon, we lost it. The wretched goblin stole Calicrex, our dragon." It's crying.
Goblin stole your dragon.
The little creature,
You need $2 million?
the little guy is probably about the same size as Fredrickson, nods and says, "Not hurt. Just it was my job and dragon gone and." He appears to have numerous little scars, probably from dragon handling along his body, but it seems like he's more upset about the dragon being gone than any injuries he might have received over the years, or over whatever amount of time he's there.
Where are your friends at?
They're not here right now. They're elsewhere. Probably talking to trying to pronounce the name properly. Probably with Citadel. She's our leader. She's probably got them all with her at the moment. Meepo have to stay here.
Why?
Because I'm the one who lost the dragon. The wretched goblins managed to steal it. It starts crying. The little kobold starts crying again.
Do I know what this is?
Roll a nature check. You're not entirely sure, but given the evidence, it's probably a good bet that it's probably a kobold.
I look at it like, are you a kobold?
The little thing nods a bit. Yes.
Okay. So, how big is this dragon?
It's just a wormling.
And
He kind of like studies you for a moment and goes, "Wait a second, are you a gnome?"
That's what I've been told.
Oh,
I thought it was a moose for the longest time.
what's a moose?
I'll tell you later. But for now, so why did the goblins take the dragon? Is it just because they thought it was cool? They wanted it?
I don't know. They're goblins. They steal stuff. Maybe they thought that this was their place only.
How long have you guys been here? How long have you lived here?
Oh, you must ask your Citadel. She'll know. Meepo no.
Can you maybe tell us where we may find Mr. Drell? I say in Draconic because.
And she responds to you in Draconic. She's in big chamber. she's our leader. Big chamber, yes. Probably with other kobolds there. And probably, maybe eating at this time, but Meepo no allowed to eat. Meepo loose dragon. Or Calcrix.
Which direction would the big chamber?
The little kobold finally pushes itself to the ground. Oh, and one of you was checking up on the symbols, correct?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Alright. Do you read Draconic?
Yes.
Alright. So, you see the symbols on the wall crudely formed in Draconic and read, "Here there be dragons." The metallic cage was all but destroyed and can't be used to restrain anything anymore. And you can see a few white scales laying on the ground inside of it.
Okay, I can pick those up and bag them.
I ask the dwarf what the kobold said since I can't.
They're leaders in the big chamber, but don't know where the big chamber is yet.
What else is?
The kobold changes back to common and says, "I guess Meepo can show you."
Wait.
Wait, hang on a second.
Wait.
And I pull a good berry out of my beard. Here, eat this.
Wait.
The kobold stares at it for a moment, looks at you, looks at the berry, sniffs it, and decides it's okay to eat.
Chris is gonna send right
Thank
above the kobold. Do you know where the key is? Or children?
What key? What children?
Key, big stone door that way. And
The Citadel might know. Meepo no.
What?
Okay, can please kindly guide us? Obviously, whenever I'm talking to the kobold, I'm always talking to Draconic.
I don't like this. Your boss.
Before leaving, I asked the kobold, why did you guys have a dragon?
The kobold blinks at you as if, as if asking a bird, why does it fly? It's basically giving you that kind of expression as if you asked a bird that, not a penguin, of course, or an ostrich, but, a robin. If the same thing as asking a robin why it's flying.
Hey,
It doesn't know how to answer that question.
I actually have a quick question. Have I ran into any ostriches in my travels?
No.
Damn.
Maybe further north. You definitely find ostriches over in Hellspring, but you don't find ostriches down south in Kolar. Kolar is mostly temperate forests and swamps.
I figured I'd ask because it'd be funny if I ran into an ostrich. I'm like, oh my god, that's a big.
Okay.
If you guide us to Yusdril, we'll try and help you find your dragon.
I'm sure she would like that too, and I would like that. Get back the dragon. Get back Calcrix.
Are you gonna give them a dragon for nothing?
Yes.
That seems like a stupid idea.
Dragons are awesome.
Yeah.
So the kobold takes you through the western archway and starts heading down a corridor. Let me figure out exactly which page, since the map is a little confusing.
I'm following right behind the kobold.
I'm not fucking searching for a dragon for nothing. Telling you right now.
I'm sailing as a rear guard.
Well, if you're not going to search for the dragon, then you're not gonna get paid. Simple as that.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it. Look, if they're not gonna give us anything, why search for a fucking dragon?
Because you might have a chance to kill
lost.
this goblin. Have you always wanted to kill goblins?
And also, we still have to go to the goblins for the apple thing. So
Yeah, sure.
we
They're
might as
coming.
Pretzels are
well.
delicious. I look at the kobold and go, hey, where are we exactly? What is this?
The kobold kind of looks like, this is our home. And as he can starts leading you guys on down some interesting corridors, he shouts in Draconic a few times. People who know Draconic hear him saying the words "ticklecorn."
Okay, safe word. Come on, got it.
Please write it down.
I'm writing it.
I'm sure he's gonna die if he does it.
So eventually, after a few minutes of wandering through the corridors and smelling kobolds and everything like that, because kobolds probably have a very distinct odor. You come
Just
across
Fredrickson.
yes. You come up to what looks like a throne of some kind.
Big
short-
hair.
A short throne stands near the west wall, constructed of fallen bits of masonry stacked against an old altar. On the top of the altar sits a variety of small items. The portion of the altar that serves as the throne's back features a carving of a rearing dragon. A metallic key is firmly held in the dragon's open jaws. Sitting on the throne is another one of the kobolds, but this one is wearing white robes and has a large ring on its finger. It kind of tilts its head a bit. There's also several other kobolds in the room. There's kobolds that clearly appear to be guards, like they're holding spears, other weapons that seem to be have armor, and they're flanking the kobold on the throne. The kobold on the throne they'll tilt its head and kind of looks down at the rest of you.
Hello.
Greeting. I bow.
The kobold flicks its eyes towards Meepo and then looks back at you. What brings you to my chambers?
Well,
He says in common.
The kobold. I pointed the kobold. He does. And I'm just smiling.
He kind of stares at you for a moment, but then looks back Meepo again, and then looks over at the one indicated to be the leader, which I imagine is Fan.
yes, I am the leader of this expedition. I am paying these less than desirable people.
I give him a quick whack on the spear when he says that.
I'm saying this.
There's a clear staff going up his butt.
That's
I
the fake wall.
mean, remember, I'm saying this.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking you off my list. Nope, I'll pull out my list. Can't work.
The entire reason we are here is for research purposes. But as we were exploring, we found this little guy looking for your dragon. And I thought
Yes,
that
Calcrix was taken not long ago. If you could possibly return Calcrix to us, I shall grant you a reward.
that was.
And even Meepo here can accompany you as much as you desire.
I was hoping you would say that. We'll gladly try and find your dragon.
Is he still all in Draconic?
Yes.
No, this is in common. She's speaking to you guys in common.
I'm saying this I'm saying
Okay.
everything in common.
If she says it's in comic, I'll say in common. And what do we get out of this?
I said I will give you a reward.
Fine.
Mind my friends, they just don't. They're mercenaries. They always expect rewards.
That's not true. I don't. I like to help people. They look like they're in need, so I'd like to help her. She seems nice.
Interesting praise from a gnome.
Yeah, that's the third time I've been called a gnome.
Well, then what are you then? You appear to be a gnome.
He
Well,
is a
see, that's
gnome.
what I
Don't
was
worry.
told. I thought that was a moose. I was wrong.
Never heard of a moose.
Yeah, they're big creatures, and they like to fight. But don't go messing with the moose mafia. Bad.
By any chance, do you happen to have the key to the door to the south?
She looks up at the altar above her head, where where a key is firmly clapped in the open. Sorry, is sitting in the open jaws of the dragon statue, or the dragon head statue that's above her head. You mean this key up here?
I would assume so, yes.
Well, if you bring Calcrix back, I will gladly hand over the key. She then puts her fingers together and tilts her head. You say you are paying these individuals behind you?
Yes, I am.
I will also be willing to part with the key for a bit of gold.
How much gold?
Let's say 50 gold pieces.
I look at Atreus and I go, "Is that a lot?"
It's
We'll
like a lot.
just
A lot.
we'll just help you with the dragon, and then we'll talk about the key later.
I take a small step forward and ask, why do you need the gold?
Why does anyone need gold? To do business with outsiders, of course.
Is that why people need gold? Huh.
I want to do an insight check on her response.
They have a baby dragon. Baby dragon needs baby horde.
And there's that too.
Exactly.
Dragons like gold and stuff. Very weird because they don't use it for anything, but you know.
Oh.
Can I do an insight check on her?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
She's on the level. She is definitely willing to part with the key for 50 gold.
Well, do you know where the goblin that took your dragon would be?
They are in the northern section of the Citadel.
Okay, then we will be back with your dragon.
I raise my hand.
She looks over at Fredrickson. Yes, little moose gnome thingy.
What is this place?
This is our home. What do you think it is?
This is the Sunless
I don't know.
Citadel.
I thought we were in a ruin. We found your friend here.
Ruins to creatures like you, but home to beings like us.
Oh no, it looks like a very pleasant. I'm not used to staying in buildings. Trees, trunk, the forest. You should check out the forest. It's really nice.
Anyway, just ignore him. He's a bit not right in the head.
How many
Fine in the head.
kobolds are there?
She kind of looks over at you.
No,
There's
it's a DM question.
In this particular room, let's see. There is the one sitting on the throne. There are two kobold guards on either side of her. One kobold guard on either side of her, so two there. There's Meepo, and you can hear more kobolds somewhere, not exactly in this room, but in the areas behind you. You can hear kind of kobolds chattering.
Alright.
Well, we'll be going to the north side of the Citadel now. So thank you for being understandable, and hopefully we'll return with your dragon.
Did we get her name? The character? Did we get her name?
Yeah, Eustrel.
Hustro? Okay, I say bye. Bye, Hustro.
I give her a deep bow and leave with the rest.
Come on, Petunia. Let's roll.
Alright, and this seems like a good place to close for this week.
Yay.
So I don't know about you, but some of us, it's sleepy time, and others of you, it's way past sleepy time. I don't know why you guys are awake time. Especially since you've got another game, you know, and you know, you've got another game tonight. Or tonight for you guys. It's good playing with you. Hope to see you again next week, Nick.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks for including me.
You're welcome. And then she'll see you again after that on the Saturday following.
Bye, peeps.
Bye-bye.
Gonna hit the bed.
It's good to have kobolds.
Kobolds are awesome.
Yep.